Sunset made this building look like it was on fire. Oh, oh my God, yeah, it did. Holy hell, and it looks like the flames are climbing out of it. Are you sure it's not on fire? The man operating the emergency exit in the Southwest Airlines safety pamphlet has a prosthetic leg. That's cool. It's like little things like that that are just like, yeah, no, that's just how he's like, you know? He had to go through this once before. That's why we keep him by the exit door. I was crossing the border to the US and somebody got their eggs confiscated by the Border Patrol. The price is climbing on those, dude. He's taking those home. I got $4 in silver certificates today as a tip. Oh, sorry. That's cool. But the way this was framed, I also thought you had only 4 fingers and it totally startled me for a second. Now, I don't know what the significance of a silver certificate, is, so I gotta figure that out real quick. So I had to Google it, and a silver certificate, it's an older part of the paper currency we trade now, and I guess you could redeem these for silver, which I think is dope. I'm trying to look at the actual image to get some interesting stuff about the bills. I don't think In God We Trust is on any of these. And yeah, okay, it says right there, in silver payable to the bearer, on demand. That is so neat. One other neat thing about these bills is the very top one, the serial number has 4 repeating 9s. I think that makes that one worth a little bit more money, if my understanding of how, you know, currency collectors and that world works. I'm so stupid. I looked it up and I didn't even scroll to the next image. The post collector kindly included some context for me here. I had to stare at it for a while, but in the top one in the middle top, it just says silver certificate. What does a typical US dollar say there? Any idea why silver certificate is significant? They say Federal Reserve note. Silver certificate is significant because it's from when the US was on the gold standard. Now you can't just trade a dollar bill for shiny metals anymore. And that is interesting. Old tree taken down and found filled with bricks. Oh, I hate it when that happens. My bubble gun has 69 holes. Very nice. I think it did 69 because for whatever particular reason, that was as many as could evenly fill on that, you know, wand, right? Looks good. Looks nice and symmetrical to me. Even if it's an odd number, it looks nice. Canadian stores still encouraging US boycott despite tariff postponement. Shop Canadian. Look for these symbols throughout the store to make it easier to shop Canadian. Product of Canada or made in Canada. Yeah, man, the whole tariff thing, I still don't really understand much about that, but it really seemed to have caused a rift with our trading partners. You know, you gotta love it. Beautiful cappuccino machine at an estate sale. That is an insane looking cappuccino machine. What are the details on that? Oh my God, that thing looks ancient. I can't even begin to describe how crazy that looks to me. So I had to zoom in close. This is being sold for like $2,000, right? And I looked up what model this is. The closest that it seems it could be is a Gaggia or Orione. I don't know. I'm gonna butcher that. I'm so sorry. It's an Italian mid-century 1970s espresso machine, which is so cool to me. And the house at this estate sale was like a multi-million-dollar home. That is so cool. I've never been to an estate sale, let alone one at a, you know, clearly an aristocrat's estate sale, but I would not be leaving empty-handed. I would have a mysterious cappuccino machine sized blueprint outline in my throat because I ate it to take it home, dog. Like, this thing is so cool. This would be leaving with me. The checklist of sins I had to fill out for confession. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. What do we got here? Preparations. Pray for the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Read and check the space provided in every sin committed for your guide in the actual confession. Approach the priest for confession to begin with. Father, absolve me from my sins. It's been days, weeks, months, or years since my last confession. These are my sins. Confess your sins following the guide you've checked. After confession, pray the act of contrition. Oh, okay, it's just a prayer. So we have the first commandment, sins against the virtue of faith, Sins against the virtue of hope, the virtue of love, sins against the virtue of religion, vain observances. This is so fascinating. What? Rituals related to planting, business, and fishing. What are the business sins? This is so insane to me. There's one for magic and sorcery. Magnetism, Magneto. Oh, that's spiritism. Wow, this is fascinating. I don't even know how to begin dissecting that. I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? I can't imagine going to church and being presented a checklist of like, sign here. And there's some things like the magnetism thing's on there, but murder's not on there. It's just, I don't know. That's so fascinating. I'm trying to make sure, because some of that did confuse me, right? So I had to look, and it seems like the address at the top, I think this is like in the Philippines or something. So this is, maybe customs that are local to that, wherever that this sect is, I'm not religious, so I could be totally talking out of my ass. I don't know, but that is fascinating. My Chick-fil-A sandwich came deconstructed with the bun in a separate bag. Oh yeah, you gotta do it yourself. All right, you gotta pay extra if you want us to assemble it for you, but you gotta do it yourself nowadays. That's just the cost of labor is increasing. Our printer wouldn't copy a euro, but copied $1. That's also interesting. I wonder why that is. I don't know. Hold on, that's weird. Okay, so I Googled it, and I found the Reddit thread, and this is the reason why the euro didn't copy was because of something called the Urion constellation, which is just a pattern of symbols that are incorporated into the banknote to help imaging software detect the presence of such a document, right? So it's not just for money, it's for checks and other things. And when those symbols are spotted, the software can then block the user from reproducing the check or the dollar or whatever. So yeah, that's all it was. It's just, the euro had security that the dollar didn't. That's all. My husband and I had correlating fortune cookies messages. You will meet someone special in March. This March, you'll make important decisions. What the hell's going on in March? I grind my teeth so hard at night that I'm wearing through my night guard. Oh, you can see it. Yeah, no, the wear and tear is starting to really be apparent. Hey, you gotta get a new one, dude. Get a tougher one made of metal or something. Fight back. Fight back! Spilled bottle of Tapatio hot sauce removed the finish from the floor. Oh, is it the acidity of the hot sauce? I'm surprised Tapatio did all that. Why? Why Tapatio specifically? What happened? Is it acidity? This ink cartridge warns against automatic firmware updates. Alert! Keep your cartridge working by disabling automatic firmware updates. That is so weird to me that happens. I can't explain it right away, but it really rubs me the wrong way that like printer ink and stuff is now subject to being faulty because of software. That's so stupid. Pair of trading cards I've signed by both Bruce and Caitlyn Jenner. That's pretty dope, getting both that way. That's sick. Father-in-law gave me a laptop from the 90s. Oh, it's a chunky boy. This is kind of sick, honestly. And so I'm assuming, right, the middle is how you move the cursor, right? The little like pad between the G and H, kind of like a ThinkPad. And then you got your mouse buttons at the bottom there. That's just, man, I wasn't alive for that time, so I wouldn't know, but I do think it's kind of sick that laptops has just been around since the 80s. That like we already were advancing so fast with technology that we could put computers in something. I don't know. I probably sound like super young saying that. I just think the way we advanced in tech is cool. Ordered 1 loofah. Walmart sent me 56. I mean, now you're never gonna run out, right? That's not bad. My grandma still has the Chairman Mao badge she used to wear. That is also pretty interesting. And I have never seen that before in my life. Why would she have to wear the badge? I randomly came across this mystery machine parked on the street. Are we talking Scooby-Doo? We are talking Scooby-Doo. Oh my goodness. And the paint job is so vibrant. This is a full mystery machine, dude. Look at the wheels and oh man. What would I give to chill out in the mystery machine for a while? 18th century condom. Is made, from sheep intestine for protection against sexually transmitted disease in the late 1700s. There is, was it effective? No idea. But the idea of wrapping sheep intestine around your, Your wiener. Oh no, that's kind of crazy. My friend made a deviled ostrich egg. Oh my God. It's massive. It's like a challenge food at that point. A pigeon approaching a statue of a pigeon in New York City. He's at the, you know, it's at the meeting sector. This is his checkpoint. It's where he saves. I made a necklace from my broken ankle plate. I have no idea what an ankle plate is. Is that like for surgery? I don't understand what the ankle plate is, but it's cool to repurpose stuff that's personal to you into jewelry. That's sick. My polydactyl cat with 2 extra toes on each of his front paws. Oh, what? Oh, he's just a guy with extra features. That's sick. Extra beans. The local bus system honored Rosa Parks on her birthday. This seat is reserved in honor of Rosa Parks. That's sick. Right in the front. What does it say in the little pamphlet? I'm curious. Hold on. Join Go Triangle has recognized Transit Equity Day. February 4th has been renamed Transit Equity Day on Rosa Parks. That's sick. I like that, and I like that it's reserved too. That's a direct, I think it's cool. I like it a lot. Sidewalk was lifted by roots, so the city shaved down the concrete. Oh, they got all that out of there, huh? My chicken breast matched the size and shape of my toast nearly exactly. Hey, that's what's up. Gonna have the perfect bite. The way the snow folded at the bottom of the slide when it slid down looks neat. Oh my God, yeah, it's like it's layering on top of itself like you turned on an ice cream machine, you know what I mean? It's just pillowing on top of itself. The effect on my goggles of daily swimming for 6 months. Top is before, yellow is after. Ooh, okay. Why is it getting yellow? Is it just the sun baking it? What's going on? It rained and it's only wet where my rear wiper wipes. Just that little bit. It wanted to take care of it for you. It worked out that way. A lightning strike happened the moment I took a photo. I mean, it looked like daytime. I took the second photo 10 seconds later. Wow, where did that hit to just light up the entire sky? That had to have been the biggest bolt of lightning ever. That thing lit up the world, dude, holy. And then 10 seconds later, it's back to nighttime. I mean, you could say day and night, but this is like, it was literally like someone turned on a light switch. What a remarkable image. I would have killed to see how crazy that lightning bolt was. My dad got a suitcase monogrammed, but his initials are bag, so it looks like he labeled his bag. Like you wanted to be fancy, but now you've labeled what your bag is. Great. Great. I mean, you know you're never gonna lose it now, right? Got an infected bee sting and they gave me black and yellow pills. I mean, hey, yeah. You know what it is. Wiz Khalifa prescribed you those, man. I found a glass bottle of beer with a dent in the side. Is that from the glass making process? How would it have dented? That's fascinating. What would have made the glass dent? I would assume that's while the glass is being produced, right? Because there's no way you could dent the glass once it's hardened. A prize arcade machine at my local skating rink has a camera from 2007. That's kind of dope though. Like that would be a prize to me. A Sony CyberShot 2007 era camera, kind of dope. No one has ever won it for almost, what, 20 years. That camera has never been won. So it's just there endlessly. That Ziploc is just as old. I don't know, that's a prize I'd want to win. That's pretty dope. I cut a bullet in half with my chainsaw. Oh shit. Yeah, it was just in there, dude. You had no idea it was in there until after the fact, huh? I mean, the power of the chainsaw. You must have heard, right? I feel like you would have heard the metal on metal. That's pretty cool. My Cheez-It has a mustache. Yeah, that's the Mumbo Jumbo Cheez-It. Ask it about Redstone, it'll know. It'll know the answer. One of my corn on the cobs is wonky. Oh, yeah, all of the corn on that cob is not aligned. That's like a germination issue, right? Like the way that corn, just that particular cob, the way it grew weird. That's what I would assume, right? That's real neat. I don't think I've ever seen that before. The town of Dildo, NL, Canada. Welcome to the community of Dildo. And just to your left is the famous Dildo Cove. I want to go. Oh, hell yeah. I found this huge rock that looks like a dino egg. Oh my God. Take it home, bro. Take it home with you. I know you're hiking. Carry it home. That's yours now. That would come home with me, bro. And I would call it a dino egg. I would just gaslight anyone who entered my home. Have you seen my dino egg? Go into the viewing room. My dog pees on this one spot every day, and now the grass looks different. Oh my God, yeah, I mean, he's just been going crazy on that one spot, and that grass has been eating it up, bro. You're starting to create a monster. It's going more. Not a fan. Not a fan of that grass at all. You mow that down, man. Mow that grass down. My boiled egg formed a hexagonal pattern inside. Oh, that's slightly discomforting, actually. Not crazy about that at all. I don't like the honeycomb egg. I'm okay. That's slightly that activates like a mild trypophobia, dude. I don't even like normally have that. I'm normally fine, but something about seeing it in the egg and just thinking about the texture, that's what's getting me. My mom's domesticated frog. Oh, look at him. He's just hanging out. He's happy to be there. When you hold this teacup up to the light, a hidden image of a woman's face appears. That's pretty neat. What's going on with that? Why did they sneak in an Easter egg into the teacup? Is that who made it? The McDonald's I work at still uses an iPod for its radio system. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, they're still using old tech, bro. They're not going back. Isn't it crazy how iPods are considered old tech now? They used to be like a generational change, and now it's like old news. My parents are eating 33-year-old socialist jam. Sorry, socialist jam? Ah, yes. Fructose sour cherry jam. Product of Yugoslavia. My favorite. It's our sour cherry jam, bro. My huge molar extracted. Dental tech said it was one of the biggest she's seen. Oh, here we go. God damn! Holy shit! What? Dude, that's a behemoth! Wow! I can't even, like, okay, there's questions I have. I'm not a dentist, so obviously I'm not gonna have any of the answers of like why the molar's that big or what happened or anything, but goodness gracious, what an insane tooth to extract. God, I know that you're probably numbed, but if you weren't numb, that would have felt crazy. I saw an 18-wheeler promoting a 35-year-old movie today. Hey, Days of Thunder, it's a classic, man. What you think we're gonna change the branding? Nah, dog. You can't outrun the thunder. Shout out Tom Cruise. My mom grew these mutant roses. Oh, yeah, those look horrifying. What happened? What happened in the growing process? Our local Whole Foods had literally no eggs. Anything left was vegan or a substitute. Yeah, I mean, yeah, eggs are in a shortage, man. We're currently experiencing difficulty sourcing eggs that meet our strict animal welfare standards. Yep. Yeah, dude, eggs are in a shortage right now. I haven't had eggs in months. They're just hard to get. I'm not paying $6 for a carton, bro. You can go fuck yourself. Think I'm paying for that? Something? You think I'm gonna be that stupid? No, hell no. Spilled some oil on my pants that looks like the logo. Oh, nice. Now you just got a unique pair of pants, bro. Hell yeah. Now it's a one of one. Found an indented penny at work. Oh my God, what the fuck? Dude, that's actually kind of sick. Keep it, bro. Honestly, probably worth a bit of money too. I'm gonna be so real. I guarantee you that's worth a pretty penny. No pun intended, of course. But like weird printing errors and different like errors of penny are worth different amounts of money for currency collectors. I guarantee you something like that is worth money. Police notice in China. Police remind, forbidden to fight. If you lose, we'll be hospitalized. If you win, you will go to jail. There you go. Just that way you know what the stakes are. Robert E. Lee tags. 01 LOL. The Virginia gentleman. Terrible win-loss record. The reflection off my laundry detergent looks like Saturn. Holy shit, that it does. Like, scarily accurate Saturn, even. Oh my God. Light is so weird, man. The way the way images could show up through the reflection of light is bizarre. The shaved spot on my dog's leg looks like a hole to the towel underneath. Yeah, it does. The towel is dog textured, dude. But no, there's no hole. Your dog just looks like that. Sour Skittles I got in the Philippines don't have the sugar coating like the ones in the US. I believe that it's like that in the EU as well. Like this is just normal for a lot of places. This sushi restaurant has a rising sun flag in their bathroom. Kind of fire, kind of thematic, not gonna lie. Dope bathroom to be in. Toyota Cybertruck. No, that truck's lying to itself. I've seen this photo before. That truck is lying to itself, and the owner wants to not be bullied for having a Cybertruck, but we are not fools. My hands have tiny glowing dots under a UV flashlight. Oh, weird. Why? I actually don't know why that would be. I could assume maybe it's your hands look weathered. Is it a material you're working with? I would have no idea what's causing that. I'm looking it up, and so yeah, because it's localized on the hands, and like if you look at the wrists, it's not on the wrists. It does look like it might be from handling something, maybe a soap or pet food or mold. It looks like it's detergents from another Redditor. They're loaded with UV reflecting particles to make your clothes look brighter and cleaner. That is fascinating. So that's so neat. Looking at the responses in a mildly interesting subreddit is always so funny to me, because something like this will have a really interesting story, and there'll be one guy just WebMDing you with, like, you know, omega cancer or something, like just like the worst disease known to man. And then it's like, well, no, that's actually not it at all. Where'd you get your science? And they're like, it was revealed to me in a dream. Glowing hands? Yeah, bro, you got the suds. Sorry. This yolk looks like a person emoji. Oh my God, what the fuck? It was a double yolk. It was a artistic double yolk, dude. How rare. My bacon turned translucent. It definitely shouldn't do that. It's definitely not something that it should do. I don't know who you'd call for that. Did you prepare it? It's just dissolving. This is wax. Like, there's no way that this isn't just wax, right? How is your bacon? What did you do? What did you do to the bacon? Would you call a priest to solve this? What remedy, what recourse do you have? I was cleaning my radiators in my house when a Nazi medal fell out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my God. What the fuck? Why was that in there? Check. Is someone hiding in the radiator? Check. Oh my God. Go check on Grandpa. Tiny wooden blocks used as an indoor playground instead of sand. Ow. Ow. That just feels painful. What? I'm not a fan of that. Is that comfy? Is that fun to play on? I imagine that just hurts. Especially if you fall down. Holy shit. Americano is now Canadiano at this coffee shop. Oh, and it's just taped right over. For $3.25, get a Canadiano. I was reading about how the tariffs that the US has imposed pissed Canada off so bad that they just ripped all of the US products off the shelf. And it runs deep. Like now, we're replacing names. Fuck American cheese. It's Canadian cheese now. We ain't getting none of that shit. A sad goose that I found at CVS. Oh, oh no. Are you sad because someone didn't buy you, bro? Oh God, why is it so sad? What the fuck? Oh my God, this poor guy. I put my antidepressants in a dinosaur-themed claw machine to get me to take them. That's pretty fire, actually. I can't even hate on that. That's sick. I'm gonna do that for my Adderall, bro. Speaking of which, I forgot to take my Adderall today. Hold on, take your pills. Take your fucking pills today, by the way. I'm the third person to check out my library book in 35 years. You get to see what all the hubbub's about, dude. Are you gonna be one of the happy readers? One of the 3? Are you gonna join a proud club of currently 2 happy readers, bro? What the inside of a bowling ball looks like. You know what? I'm so real, I thought they were gonna be hollow. So that is surprising. I gotta be so dead ass. I thought it was gonna be hollow. So color me surprised. But I guess if it was hollow, it'd be more likely to fracture, right? It looks like a brittle of some kind, or like a soft serve, like I could scoop it, you know? This looks very scoopable. This bruise on my eye that looks like eyeliner. That's, wow. No, it really does though. It's a deep purple. You fought a ghost that serves and you won, but you left with battle scars. My cat left her footprints on my leg. She was just making biscuits. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The way the chairs in this doctor's office are dimpling the floors. Whoa, okay. It's like a hard, a hard floor, right? Oh my God. How hard are people sitting in those chairs? Are they standing on them? It's dimpling that floor. Concrete dust sticks to the veins of my arms. That looks pretty fire though. I mean, you basically got a free contour of your veins. I'd say that's pretty sick, dude. Just blend it a little more and it'll define it. It'll look cool. Trust me. The potato chip that fell on my pants happened to line up perfectly with the fabric pattern. Oh, wow. It wanted to show you it could match before you ate it. It was trying to impress you. to earn your favor to maybe walk free, but you're hungry. There's no such thing as freedom when the stomach growls, bro. My slice of marble cake looks like a goat because it's the goat piece. It's the best tasting piece of marble cake you'll have, dude. That's very, very prominent horns for a goat. Like they don't curl back or anything. This with a little bit of ice cream would go crazy. You're just having the cake on its own. Not even centered on the plate, you maniac. Tiny hair-like crystals growing from Altoids left in my car all winter. That's kind of fire. I mean, it makes sense that it's growing on the Altoid. It's minty fresh and that, makes your breath all cold. It's showing you how effective those mints are gonna be. The stark difference between clearly house-made and clearly frozen mozzarella sticks I got at different bars last week. Oh, those house-made ones look perfect. But those frozen ones, if you're coming home hungover or if you're high, that is shining the light of God in your face. Like you open that like SpongeBob opening the Krusty Krab pizza box, is that the cheese? Like that is how you feel. These both slap, but one of these slap in a comforting way, and that is the frozen ones. Tracked my boyfriend's hot sauce consumption over the course of 13 days. Oh my God. And almost a little under 2 weeks. A little under 2 weeks. Oh my God. This is like a big boy bottle too. Oh my God. Is he having, what is he having? A tapatio with a side of eggs? What is going on? The main course is tapatio. This vanity license plate. Oh, very nice. Very nice, very funny. Yeah, no, it's the license plate. He saw that, he got a smile across his face, and he's like, this is gonna be great. And that's what he did. I accidentally perfectly lined up my Band-Aid. Oh wow, yeah, you really did. You made it look picture perfect. The coffee I got came with a card saying that what they were listening to when roasting the coffee. Roasted while listening to Tom Petty, Full Moon Fever. I think that's cool. Obviously with the whole vinyl coffee thing, it feels a little music themed anyway. So I think this is cool. This is a fun little piece of personalization they do that I feel like this is fun. This is really fun. I'm a big fan of that. This guy brought an air mattress to the airport. What a gangster. I don't even blame him. What a gangster. If he's waiting for his flight, if there's a layover or something and he brought out the emergency match, I can't blame him. That's smart. That is smart to do. Good for him. A well-seasoned a world traveler, dude. That's a veteran move. This sign is mirrored so truckers can read it while backing in. Let's see, can I read this? This is in a different language. No. The answer is I was gonna give it an attempt until I saw right away that did not say attention. That at least not in English. ATTENTIE, that is not attention. What language is this? Now I gotta know. Now I'm curious. You know what I mean? Now I gotta know. It's Dutch. It's Dutch. And I'm not gonna pretend like I know how to speak Dutch and offend all of them. They're gonna... I don't want to become enemy of the Dutch, all right? Maybe next time, not today. Poured olive oil into pan and it formed an almost perfect square. That's fire, what the hell? Oh my God. And that's your cooking surface. That's all you're allowed to use. What a beautiful pan, by the way. I want this pan. I really want this pan. That is a gorgeous piece of cookware. I like it. This one-armed stool at a funeral home. It's for those with one arm, you know? Hey, you never seen a one-armed stool before? Some people. My Post-it notes came on a mini pallet. That's awesome. What the fuck? Dude, that's sick. Are you kidding me? I think that's cool. That's cool. That's adorable. I want all my small things to come on mini pallets like that. Did it come with a mini forklift? Did he make the noise with his mouth? And like set it down? Or did it come on a big forklift and they just played it straight? Like what happened? McDonald's in Brooklyn doesn't allow anyone under 20 without a parent inside. No one under the age of 20 is allowed in this restaurant without a parent and proper identification. You know that they were being delinquents in there. To get a full ban in the McDonald's, they were making their lives hell. They were being demons in there. Probably fights breaking out and shit if I'm gonna be honest. Probably fights breaking out regularly Like they turn the McDonald's into their fight club. And it's like in Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm had to get chauffeur rules because people would just treat it as like not exactly the same thing since, you know, it's a theme park, but Knott's Berry Farm started doing a chaperone policy because people were just dropping their kids off like it was a daycare and they were making the staff's lives hell. I wouldn't be surprised if something along the lines of this happened, maybe without them treating the McDonald's like a daycare, but rather, you know, making the staff's lives hell. That's the only reason a change like this would happen, in my opinion. Someone has been stealing the neighbor's plants. If you keep stealing my plants because you can't afford to buy your own, please come knock on my door. I'll take you to the store and buy some for you. If you're doing it because you're just a mean jerk, then you should know that the day you stole the last ones was the day I peed on them. You have pea plants now. Ha! And that's how you take justice into your own hands. I commend that. I commend Captain P Plants. Just one fatal typing error away from Captain P Pants, which is an entirely different superhero. Former copper and brass pipe fittings from my house cast by my plumber. Oh, wow. These don't seem normal, are they? Are these normal fittings that should look like this, or is this the plumber being extra? I'm not a plumber, so I wouldn't know. The poles in this testing spot are hit so often they put them on springs. And you know what spot it is? Look at the sign. DMV drive test / vehicle inspection only. There's a reason that sign looks like that. People are hitting that sign when they're doing their driver's test. I hit a power line with an arrow by mistake today. Yeah, nice going, Clinton Barton. More like fart eye, dude. Yeah, you missed, pal. This pumpkin I grew last year hasn't rotted. That's impressive and oddly frightening. Maybe it wants something. If it's lasted for a year, it's a member of the house. It should pay rent. These mushrooms we picked for the restaurant I work in. Scarlet cups. Whoa, what the fuck? That's gorgeous. What the hell? I wouldn't even know that these are safe to eat. I would assume that red means bad and like stay away from them. These are safe to eat? This is a gorgeous looking mushroom. What the fuck, dude? What would you even pair this with? I feel like you have to pair a mushroom like this with like a red meat, like a steak or something, right? That's the only thing I think this could go with. Imagine making a mushroom risotto with something like this too. That would be interesting. That would look cool. Some kind of plant growing in the eye of my scrub mommy. Might be a poppy seed from a bagel. Well, how ironic that the scrub mommy is the one that bears life. Really is, really says a lot, doesn't it? How interesting. My legs change to a completely different color when shaving. Top one is shaved. Oh yeah, because you're just shaving a little pigment off. That's fine. It'll come back. Don't worry about it. You're just shaving a little pigment off. Don't worry. Don't worry. Happens all the time. Comes right off. My shower has a flip down footrest for leg shaving. That's dope. It comes with the pedal to shave your. That's sick. That's sick, and not only is that sick, that's thoughtful. That's considerate. I love that. I borrowed a stapler from a clinician I didn't know, and both her stapler and staples were pink. It's an Elle Woods ass stapler. That's pretty cool. Banana is still perfectly yellow under the Chiquita sticker. Oh my God. Yeah, it stopped all of the ripening from that area. It was like it's like when you leave a Tupperware, or not Tupperware, like a plastic container over a patch of grass on your yard for a long time, and then it just looks different from all the other grass. That's what happened here. Our thermometer was made in North Korea. Wow. How do you feel about that? Is it taking, as long as it takes your temperature accurately, I guess, right? My toothbrush replacement heads have little pictures to differentiate instead of colored rings. Oh, fun. So this one that's wrapped tastes like strawberry. This one like cherry, and this one tastes like blue sky. That's weird. What does blue sky taste like? Shadow in my room upside down is a perfectly accurate truck. Oh my God, yeah it is. What the fuck? It's like right down to the windows and the door. What the hell? That's a pareidolia, bro. The viewing angle on my toaster's oven LCD is angled upwards. That's because you're supposed to stand over it like that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, just like that. Stand over it and see what's going on. That's the intended design. Not a good one, an intended one. I had a white yolk this morning. Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't think I've ever seen a white yolk. So I'm having to look it up. I don't know if this is true, but they're guessing it's from pigmented feed. So I don't know. I don't think that's real personally. That doesn't make sense to me. I guess egg yolks get pigmented by diet, but I've never heard of that before. That's the first time I've ever heard of something like that. That's interesting. So I guess you could technically feed a chicken. You could feed the diet you feed your chicken. You could do rainbow eggs, not like in one egg, but like you could feed them all a selection of things and have a different colored yolk. I didn't know we had pretty eggs like that already. That's insane. The stack of Wii Fit boards at the thrift store. Ain't no one buying one of those. Unless it's someone making a YouTube video, ain't no one buying those. My mom and I opened 5 double yolk eggs in a row. Well, these are considered good luck, but not when you're just mashing them like this. What do you do? In a pan like that, dude? Come on. What are you gonna do? Sunny side up in one big glob? Sunny side glob? Not a fan. An infrared camera shows the variance in blood flow to each of my toes. Damn, dude. What the hell's going on with your left foot? What's going on with the blood flow there, man? Seems like that left foot's getting no blood flow at all. Those toes are dying, and not to mention the right foot, that second toe is suffocating, whatever's going on there. Sometimes I buff my guitar calluses so that they're shiny. And that you do. Sometimes we need to look pretty, and this is how you do it. And damn, those are some hardy calluses, bro. You're plucking at them strings. My daughter's alphabet dress has red rum hidden in it. Oh yeah, there it is, red rum right there. Shout out The Shining, they know exactly. That's great, honestly. Big fan of that. Big fan of the red rum hidden in plain sight. For the, average observer, they won't understand. Oh, what do you mean? It's just letters. For those who know, for those who know, they certainly do. They certainly do know. Stick-like hairs in my beard. Left hairs are typical. Farthest right are like actual twigs growing on my face. Oh man, it looks like you got like ingrown hairs or something, man. Are you sure that's not like, are we sure this isn't an ingrown hair problem? And I was given context. This is something known as compound hairs, which is a malformation that is characterized, as you can read. I'm just basically quoting this for those who are listening. If you're watching the video, you can pause and read it. If you're listening, listen in. But basically, compound hairs are characterized by multiple hair matrices. So multiple, I guess, like pieces of hair, right? Giving rise to the formation of multiple hair shafts within the individual follicles. Thankfully, they give us layman's terms. So it's a condition where several separate hair fibers kind of bunch up together and then poke through the skin through one single hair canal, which sounds gross. It sounds yucky. It says, quote, pathology shows that deep in the skin, several dermal papillae are closely situated with each producing a fiber, but these separate hair follicle bulbs combine into one hair canal toward the skin surface. So that's fascinating, and it can be treated with electrolysis. Don't know if I said that right either, but it's basically just your hairs getting together to decide to f your day up. It's little hairs going, we are friends now, and they move together. They move as a flock. My cactus shows when I stopped smoking. Oh man, yeah. You can tell the instant air quality improvement, huh? I mean, your walls are gonna look better. Everything's gonna look better because you stopped smoking. The walls are gonna, not look like there's muck attached to them. The cactus is thriving. Good for it. Free butt cleaning foam in the airport bathroom. And you know what? That's good. Just fold the toilet paper, apply the foam, and wipe clean. Absolutely. You know what? We need more good hygiene practices like this. This is fantastic. This is great, and it's truly flushable. You turn the TP into a wet wipe that way, as advertised on the packaging. What a great solution. Found 2 unopened cans of the original 4 Loko. So you're telling me you could get 8 Loko with this. That's what's up. You got 2 4 Lokos, that's 8 Loko. And will you get that Loko? Can you handle it? My local fried chicken place advertising it as a healthy food, for your health. Make America healthy again. Our chicken's cooked in all natural beef tallow and no seed oils. And then what's that little at participating locations only. So it's not even a fully accurate claim, as if any of this was accurate advertising to begin with. And it's right over a sign, by the way. What sign is that over? I can't tell, but I can't tell what sign that's covering, but it's even funnier to me that they just threw that over an already existing piece of signage that was put up there probably for parking purposes, right? Oh man. Save time, order online, go get your Bush's chicken. We drenched it in tallow. and coated it in fried flavoring. Found a gummy bear mold in my pack of gummy bears. Dude, that's like getting a seed. That's like getting that's like planting your own seeds, you know, to grow your own food. You've been given your own gummy bear mold to make your own gummy bears. That's what's up. The world is now your oyster. HelloFresh included 2 free sugary drinks, 43 grams of sugar each, and an advertisement for Ozempic in our box this week. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, 2 Fuse iced teas, and then a promo for Ozempic. They say, hey, fatty, want to have one last ride for you lose some weight? That's what they were trying to say, even though that's not what Ozempic should be used for, so we're clear. You shouldn't be trying to drop weight through Ozempic, but that's how it's been being used. That feels mean and cold-hearted from HelloFresh. Feels like a very mean thing for them to do. This hotel has a room numbered 419+1 instead of 420. Yeah, you don't want all the stoners getting the 419+1 room because that's all they're gonna try and book. Can I have room 420? No, it's room 419+1. Would you like that room? Dude, it's not as funny. Then I guess go somewhere else then. No room 420. IKEA sells chocolate Easter bunnies that you have to assemble yourself. Oh, well, isn't that funny? Self-assembled chocolate Easter bunny. And you know what? I think that's silly. I think that's fun. That's silly. That is in the theme of IKEA, right? This feels like a very good on-brand product. I see this is an ace in my book. This is fun. I opened my daily inhaler to see what was inside. Probably things to inhale. And would you look at that? It's a mechanism. It's always a goddamn mechanism every time. Shaking my head. It's got a roll of blister packs, each with a dose of the powdered drug in it. Oh, I see. So yeah, if you're looking at those, I think we're looking at that on the left side. You can see the blister packs there. Ah, and then yeah, when you inhale it, it pops it open and you inhale it. That's perfect. There you go. And now you know. There's ivy growing into my house from the outside. It's just trying to move in. What's wrong with that? It's saying, hey, can I come in here? It seems like they found their way into the bathroom. Maybe they just want a nice bath. You never know. You never know. I left a penny in battery acid for 1.5 years and only the inside melted away. Huh? Oh, wow. Yeah, it just cut right through the middle of that penny. That's fascinating. Hey, wait a minute. I know this photo. This, we just saw this guy's hand in another video. This is the guy with the Jay Leno finger. Good for you, dude, making it onto 2 videos. Look at you, back to back. How many pens it takes to complete a BS in engineering? Is that what, bachelor's? And we went through, let's count them. We had 1 actual pen, okay, broken down and deconstructed for our viewing pleasure. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pens. And another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 10 pens. Then another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'd say all in all about 32, maybe 34 pens if my counting was wrong. We'll give that little margin of error. A lot of pens, and I mean, you're still not all the way done with those other ones, man. Some of those still have ink in them, so that's like, what, 11.25 pens? Or, no, not 11, 31.25 pens, rather. Still worked through quite a few. AI-generated pizza box design from the local shop. Pizza, hot and fresh, hot and fresh, hot and fresh. So nice they had to say it thrice. And don't worry about the other strange anomalies on here. Just you know, focus on it being hot and fresh ×3, smile. My mom has written reminders to herself for her online poker. 2 same cards flop could mean full house. Do not go all in. Straight alert watch. She's taking notes, man. She has to. It's the gambler's lament. She has to make sure she wants to win big. And can you blame her? She's just 1 hand away. Based on these notes, she has to stop playing poker or maybe play with fake money until she figures out how to play properly. It just seems like there's a lot of, this is what she's trying to figure out. She's doing her best, man. Okay. She's doing her absolute best. The house is winning and it's starting to feel bad. My popcorn shrimp was served on a bed of popcorn. Well, isn't that nice? You have popcorn for your shrimp, for your popcorned shrimp. I think that's fitting. And that's a great cycle, you know? You got popcorn shrimp on the bed of popcorn. What else could you put in there? Pop rocks, maybe? A lot of things that pop, you can do that. This potato-shaped rock that came with the sack of potatoes. How they made this mistake at the potato factory, I don't know, but you got yourself a brand new stone there, my friend. Put that on display. Bought a pack of push pins, and one had a plastic point instead of metal. Oh, well that one, That one is it's a learning pin, okay? You have to practice with that one before you use the sharp metal push pins. Body stains on the London Underground taken by me. Oh wow. It's like the shadows of who used to be. That's kind of poetic as an art piece, right? Kind of shows that we're waiting so long that we leave memories of ourselves there. Isn't that the most pretentious thing I've ever said? Trying to add some avant-garde meaning to what is clearly just dirt on the wall. God, that's fun. Target in Brooklyn has had it with teens. No one under 18 is allowed without a parent. All guests under the age of 18 must be accompanied by an adult at this Target store. And that seems to be the trend going forward. Is a lot of employers, a lot of businesses in general, they're just kind of tired of people coming in, especially with like teenagers coming in and doing dumb. And it's not just teenagers, so we're clear. Any of you folks of all ages can come by and be absolute nuisances, but mitigating where you can, I guess, can be important. I went to a rougher high school. The nearby gas station went out of business. I think it was partially due to the amount of theft and fights that happened there. Other businesses did fine, but for whatever reason, the kids were on their worst behavior there. Because it becomes like a place for them to be like, yeah, no, whatever. It becomes a designated place to like off, basically. Like a hangout spot. This chip bag has a second tear point for when you're getting closer to the bottom. I think that is a fantastic idea. We need more bags to start doing this. You mean as I'm getting closer to the bottom, you're being considerate of that and you're gonna make a second place for me to tear open the bag so I don't have to reach my whole hand down there? That's awfully considerate of you. Dashima Chips, thank you. This tile in my shower looks like my girlfriend's dog. You know how you were able to pick out the silhouette of your girlfriend's dog sleeping and match that to your shower tile? That's a great eye for pattern recognition, man. And I can see it. Side by side, I can really see it. Tree that swallowed some stonework. But see, that looks cool to me. To me, this is very sick when nature takes it back. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of this and I hope they keep it that way. I have an unusually large forearm vein. Oh, damn. What? Why do you though? What happened here? Is this, put it away. You're scaring me. This Wendy's billboard directly above a McDonald's drive-thru in Ohio. There's still time. See you in half a mile. That is beautiful marketing. And this is the kind of war I want to see. I want to see fast food gang wars like this. Putting advertisements near your competitors. And it's just far enough away. It's not encroaching on their land. This is great. I love this. A year worth of cat whiskers that I found on my floors, couches, and surfaces from my gang of 3. And now you're putting them in a little vase like how moms collect teeth from their kids. Well, that's fun. You know, do what you want to do, I guess. But that, honestly, this doesn't seem like that many fallen whiskers in the grand scheme of things. It looks like a lot because, you know, it's all in one place. But this doesn't feel like it's all that much when it's collected, you know, over the time span we're given here. It just seems like a normal amount. This squirrel has a designated dining spot at a local restaurant. Well, that's nice. It's nice that they've, you know, thought of him, they've considered him, and now he has a place to dine. Everyone needs their place. And he has his little bench, the umbrellas, that way has some shade. It's considerate. My boyfriend's allergy test. Tested for 72 things, allergic to 70. That seems like a nightmare. Oh no. Oh boy, well now we know that your boyfriend's got the immune system of a small Victorian child. Congratulations. This guy, measles would ruin this man's life. No vaccine can cure him. My daughter's allergy panel looked like that. She wasn't allergic to a single thing. She has a histamine problem where her body overproduces in response to irritation. Okay, so it could be the opposite then. Hold on, I'm dumb. What's a histamine? Okay, so a histamine is a chemical that our body, our immune system specifically releases. And it's known for its role in causing allergy symptoms rather. Okay, so it's like inflammatory reactions, things like that. So this could just be his body getting an irritant and then being like, sound the alarm! Like running, going into overdrive, which is maybe better, I don't know. Found these heroin, morphine, and cocaine apothecary jars at the antique shop today. Listen, before anyone gets on me for I said apothecary, this is not a word I use in my day-to-day life, all right? But these are beautiful jars for these for these for these drugs. I personally also keep all my Schedule 1 and 2 drugs in separate jars like this, just to, you know, liven up my medicine cabinet. My grandpa's blood alcohol calculator. Oh, here we go, the drink and drive calculator. Are you God's favorite pilot? Set number of drinks, 1 ounce 86 proof alcohol or approximately 12 ounces beer to your body weight. Read percentage blood alcohol arrow in top window. Red indicates the danger zone, otherwise known as the fun part. If more than 1 hour is spent in drinking, see lower window. And if you're over 260 pounds, you're f***ed because it only goes up that far. This is so interesting. I would have never seen. You think they used these, or was this just like an encouragement, like something to have to like pretend that you were following the rules? What? If I'm drinking, I don't see myself ever properly using a device like this. The women's bathroom requires a code to get in, but the men's bathroom does not. That's because the men's bathroom was where the animals live, where all the fucking primordial creatures go to gather and learn what a sink is. We're trying to keep the civilized bathrooms nice, so we gotta put locks on them where, you know, people... where rock and stick are not, you know, common law there. My plate has a bruise where it's chipped. Oh, hey, it's gonna be listen, a bruise can heal, but that chip will never go away unless you know, gotta do some cosmetic work on that thing. But, you know, it's just a little bruise, it'll be okay. This wiring job in a public car park. Oh, wow. Someone really cared, someone really gave a damn. You see that? When you really give a damn about what you're doing, this is how it can look. This is nice. This is real nice stuff. I like this. This makes me, you know, warm, tingly even. This really cute caution sign. Aw, caution, icy. Walk like a penguin. But the trick, the gag is that the road's not icy at all. I know that's snow there, but just follow my thinking here, okay? A goofball placed this sign down, and it's an adorable sign. But he just wanted to see all you common folk walk like penguins for his own laugh. Found cleaning an apartment. iPod Nano and 15-year-old bag of weed. Damn. Oh, that's not even weed anymore. That's not even a drug. That's a fucking micro environment. The kind of bacteria and microbes living in there are undiscovered. Man has never seen these kinds of things before. Put that under a microscope. Try to communicate with it. My very old tea towel perfectly, what is this word? Concertinas itself every time I wash and dry it. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, it becomes a little like those little fans. It just gets nice and curly, like wavy. Ain't that nice? Why would that be? Is it just how the fibers are? Is it just how those fibers be? This device to detect if a crack widens. Oh, I see. So what's the deal here? What do we got going on? I'm gonna try and zoom in. We have where the crack may have started, like there's the center point, right? And we're looking maybe to see, I would guess that the grid there, we're just looking to see if it grows any further, right? I feel like you could do this by eye, but you know what? I'm not gonna hate. There is a 3-legged deer that lives near me, and he's just hanging out. You know, wild animals in nature, they are sturdy. They are so sturdy. And I'm gonna say it seems like deer in particular, because I've seen, I've unfortunately seen, you know, instances where, you know, a deer is running through a highway and a car, you know, like, it just happens so fast and the deer flies into the field. And it gets up and it's like, fuck, and it runs away. Deers are tanks. They do sound gross too. They don't, you think a deer would sound cute? No, it doesn't. It sounds gross. I've seen her around for the past few years, but this is the first time I've been able to get a picture. Earlier this year, I saw 2 fawns following her around every time I caught a glimpse. So she seems very healthy despite her disability. I'm rooting for her. Seeing her on my commute home is always one of the high points of my day. She's got disability to raise a couple fawns. No disability, she's got disability. She's raising a whole family, bro. Dylan, Colorado elevation causing ice cream containers to open. What? I didn't know that. Is it like a pressure thing? What's going on there? That's fascinating. And also $5.99 for ice cream, and go fuck yourself, pal. I've lived in northern Colorado for my whole life. I thought it was normal for yogurt to release pressure when you open it. There's a joke somewhere in there. Talking about yogurt releasing from pressure, huh? And then we had company visiting from sea level. They were amazed that everything is about to explode, like chips and stuff, because it's just the elevation's too high. They're like, God damn, you know? They're reaching critical pressure capacity. Arg, she blows, dude. The bag says the picture is enlarged, but it's the same size as the actual gummy. Oh wow, it's just a little bit larger. See how like it's like the edges of the gummy, you know? But hey, now you know you're getting a good deal, right? I don't mind a big gummy. I'm a fan of that. I wouldn't complain about this personally. Maybe it's not a complaint, maybe it's an observation. Went to IKEA and all signs for hot dogs there called them glizzies. Get your glizzies to go. Well, let's be clear here. Glizzy is just on one sign, all right? I don't know why you're saying that everything was called glizzy instead of hot dog, but if you look here, sorry, what am I not understanding here about the tiers here? Novice, 50-cent hot dog, which is kind of crazy. 50 cents for a hot dog is kind of bizarre. 3 hot dogs for $1.50, and that's the beginner level. At advanced, you're scarfing down 10 wieners, all right? At expert, you're forking down 25 beef franks. And if you eat in under 10 minutes, literally the new record holder, the new world record holder, please be careful, 86 glizzies. You'd be the glizzy guzzler for the low price of $43 with IKEA family. Because here, you're family. My girlfriend's work has spherical hash browns. Well, that's nice. They're almost like hush puppies, right? Of course, the key difference being hush puppies are like cornmeal, right? It's like a cornmeal batter. But, you know, they're hush puppy shaped, which is, you know, close enough. NYPD used to own the iPod I just bought. Oh, no. What song do you think is on there? Just the theme song to Cops? Just the ambiance of a Krispy Kreme? What sounds do you think the Cops have on their playlist? What's their profiling music? Cat litter cake my coworker made for Halloween. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. That is a very accurate looking cake for cat litter. You know, well done, dude. Fucking yucky. Actually gross. You've accomplished your goal. Now get out of my house. The McDonald's near me almost always folds their boxes inside out. Because they want to surprise you, you know? Sometimes they're hoping you forgot what you ordered. That way when you pop open the clamshell lid, you're like, I did get a crispy I did get a McCrispy, wow. You know, it's just for fun. My middle fingernails have always curled more than my other nails. Oh yeah, no, that's a little claw that you got, a little talon you have in the middle of all your other nails there. Is that just, why would that be? Why might that be? I'm pretty sure this is just like a genetic thing, like how your nail bed and nail grows. I don't think it's like any sort of like cause for concern, you know? Like I'm sure someone might see this and be like, your hands are clubbing, but no, I don't think that that's what's going on here. I think this is just a genetic thing. New York City parks now have bins specifically for empty pizza boxes. They have everything in the Big Apple. And finally, as you think it'd be, you know, it would have come sooner. We got the empty pizza box trash bin. Thing gets full in a day. In a day, it gets full. What are they using all that cardboard for, you might be thinking? Big ass box for it. I got consecutive order numbers 1 day apart. Let's see, we got, 1342. What did you get? What do you eat? Now I'm curious. This is your local McDonald's. You got the crispy chicken biscuit with a hash brown and a southern style sweet tea, classic choice. Oh, you got a regular ass meal. You know exactly what you like, and you paid in cash twice. You're going inside the McDonald's for it, man. Better fill out those surveys with your regular order. Burger chain using pasta straws. Not sure I've ever heard of a pasta straw. Oh, it's like straight up just a straw that's made of, okay. I can see the practicality, but I would feel weird drinking out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand this is like a good way to reduce waste because plastic straws and, you know, recycling and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if I could get acclimated to that. Just give me a spoon. This looks like a milkshake anyway. Was chewing a mussel and I found a pearl in it. It's one hell of a lucky mussel. Oh, and it's just a little baby. Did you find that while you were chewing? That's gotta be the worst thing, right? feel something hard, and I don't like seafood really at all. It's just a texture thing for me. I wouldn't be caught dead chewing on a mussel. But finding a pearl, that's like finding the prize in the cereal box, right? That's fun. My new pen has a 4 GB USB built into its cap. That's fascinating. I wonder for what purpose would this be used for? I mean, I like them, you know, maybe I can, okay, you know what? I'm being a hater. We need more stuff like this. We need more multifunctional devices like this. I approve. Pigeon built its nest on anti-pigeon spikes. You can't keep a good bird down, they say. And look at that. Defiant as ever. You think these anti-bird spikes are gonna keep him down? Absolutely not. He defies the establishment, builds his nest on top of it. Now his home is also conveying one badass message, if I do say so myself. I can't make popcorn in my hotel room microwave per the fire department. Was there a popcorn related accident? Please no popcorn in microwave per local fire department. We apologize for any inconvenience. There was a popcorn related incident here. And they have barred microwavable popcorn from the entire hotel. So you gotta ask about the history there. There's a story behind that sticker. I spilled white queso on my pants last night, and this morning it's bright orange. Gross. Why might that happen? Hold on, now I gotta research. All right, so the post this is from has a lot of conflicting answers, so I'm gonna have to kind of guess what I think is going on here. Based on the jar, this is a medium spice queso, which with Tostitos just means there's a slight kick. Maybe it's the acidity there. It could be the way the cheese oxidized. It could be anything, right? There's a lot of things there that could be, you know, I'm thinking that maybe it's like an acidic thing from the peppers inside the queso. I would have to assume, right? I don't know what else it could be from there. This large pile of radishes I saw at the farmer's market. An appropriate place to see radishes, if I do say so myself, but what a large pile that is. That I think that is the largest collection of radishes I've ever seen in one place, now that I think about it. What a proud radish farmer has presented to you their wares. Do you partake in their delicacies? Yes or yes. This rock that sort of looks like a hamburger. Rock burger. This looks like those McDonald's hamburgers that they will like put in like resin and it just doesn't like rot away, you know what I mean? This is one like McDonald's cheeseburger that was ordered in like 1990 that just has never it has never decayed away. It just looks like this permanently. My roses from Valentine's Day have grown leaves and stopped drying up. Oh, well, would you look at that? It's you know, you've kept them, you've taken really good care of them. That's what this shows, that you're taking fantastic care of the roses that were gifted to you on such a special day. Hotel breakfast has white pepper and black salt, because everyone's gotta have a gimmick. Black sea salt and white pepper. Oh, and it's telling you what it's for. That's beautiful. So the white pepper is great in light sauces, cream soups, potato dishes, or salad dressings. But the black sea salt, use that to top off your salads, meats, and sauces to make them visually distinct. Ain't that something? This is just like being like a bit of a nerd with cooking food. I would love to own this just to like test with different aesthetics visually with cooking. I'm sure it doesn't do all that much, right? But I don't know. I'm a big fan of white pepper, especially in like certain sauces. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. All the samples I got from going to the largest dermatology conference in the world. Holy shit. That's actually nuts. This has got to be the benefit to going to one of these conferences, right? Are these all free samples? Are you benefiting? Like, are you going to like the CeraVe booth? And they're like, here, have a free sample, because that would be clutch. Like, if these were all free of charge, this was a worthwhile trip. And that's all that's on my mind. Slug on our wall has a red triangle on its back. That's never good. Wait, what the f? Yeah, what's going on with this? So it turns out this is called the red triangle slug, which, you know, I don't know why they would call it that. Maybe something to do with it being a slug of some sort. This is an Australian creature, which of course, the strange thing exists in Australia. And it's also, fun fact, Australia's largest native land slug. I've never have heard of these ever in my life. It looks like the triangle almost looks like they got like a piece of flesh ripped off. It's very concerning to look at, but that's just how they live. That triangle, it's to distinguish them from the other non-red triangle slugs that are around in Australia just kicking about. You know, you gotta stand out in the crowd in some way. This restaurant does not accept tips in the US of A. That's interesting. Here we go. So what did you buy? Oh, okay. So you got like this is like a sushi joint, right? Got a couple rounds of scallops, some shrimp, some eel, some yellowtail. All right. You spent a total of $103 with a 16% fee. State tax for a total of $131. So gratuity is probably included. They're a no tipping restaurant because they're probably paying. Well, gratuity would mean like the tip is included in the thing. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is the staff is likely well taken care of. They're a no tipping establishment, right? You would hope. 16% fee is the tips. Okay, so it's probably, maybe I'm right then. Maybe it's the gratuity fee, right? I would have to assume that maybe that's what that is then. Someone from Los Angeles, California sent me a postcard in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, reminding me to vote in my own upcoming Wisconsin election. Hey, is this Sean? Thank you for being a voter. When will you vote in the April 1st election? Please plan ahead. From Paul. And you know, Paul's just, he's active in the community from Los Angeles all the way to Wisconsin. He's making sure everyone's getting their votes in. You don't want to be caught with your pants down in the election. All of a sudden you didn't vote. Now you got someone in office you didn't want. That's why it's important to participate in your local elections. I like this guy. I like also that he used a different colored ink in his letter to, like, you know, highlight what he wanted to get across. This guy's a thinker. I like him. I like this guy quite a bit. I made a crane from a breath strip. Oh, and that you did. How that's got, oh my God. Yeah, doing origami with a breath strip is like a different level of finesse. Did you do this with like tweezers or did you do this by hand? Either way, mad impressive. It's like a dexterity thing. Giant billboard on Las Vegas Strip falls victim to the dreaded blue screen of death. And oh man, now we'll never know what you were advertising, dude. Guess I can't gamble there now because I have no idea what you were trying to sell me. Here I was ready to spend all my money at the casino so the house could win. Now I don't even know what it was anymore. Oh, shame. Really quick, just because I found this interesting. Speaking of Vegas, Vegas is like on the decline or something, man. Like, I was reading from the subreddit on Vegas, like, it's kind of like a lot of people who like work around there, like rideshare guys, are saying it's kind of going back to like COVID days. And I think it has a lot to do with how much things cost now at Vegas. Like, there was another user saying that a slice of cheesecake at this location called Mandalay Bay was like 16 bucks, which is f***ing ridiculous. It really seems like Vegas has like been priced out of like everything. You know what I mean? It's very fascinating, like the price exhaustion and gouging and whatnot that's happened. And I don't know. I find that very interesting. Just a very interesting thing that's been happening to Vegas, a place that seems like, you know, a big like party kind of destination. Seems like it's really, you know, fallen from grace, so to say. Canadian government billboard ad in my city, Georgia, US. Tariffs are a tax on your grocery bill, paid for by the government of Canada. Just a constant reminder of things to come, huh? Shout out Canada. Someone adorned a cactus with a bra. Oh, you know what? It helped them cover up a little bit. I'm sure it was getting chilly out there. Just making sure, like, hey man, here's something for the girls. You know what I mean? He said, cover those up, dude. My local micro center honored a 27-year-old gift certificate. Oh, hell yeah. What year did this come out? 98. The white original of this gift certificate may be redeemed for merchandise or services. What was it, $75 too? Damn, you got a deal on that, man. Hell yeah. In my town in Denmark, there's little Vikings in the traffic lights. Well, that's nice. I feel like that, you know, if they tell you to stop, you're gonna stop, right? I certainly would. My dog always has her tongue out. She's just a happy girl. Look at her. She seems so happy to see you, dude. Of course she would. She's just silly like that. She doesn't have an upper right canine tooth, does she? Well, actually, she's missing all her teeth. It's a whole big story. Well, something happened, and now she can only eat soft foods, but now she looks silly all the time. Construction company covering neighborhood cars to keep them dust free. Hey, hell yeah, that's a move, dude. That's very considerate. That's very considerate of the construction company. We need more stuff like that. That's so nice. Eggs from a farm nearby. Well, that's nice. All sorts of different colors, the range of colors for natural eggs. Dude, I really hope next time I move, I really hope that I live by someone who grows their own like eggs like this, like has their own chickens. Cause that nothing is better in a neighborhood than when you have neighbors like this where you can be like, hey man, can I buy a dozen eggs? You get them cheaper, they're better, they're just, oh, just a great experience. My son face planted on our bed and left behind an impression. That's a face of anguish that he left. He wasn't having a great time. The hair on the outside of my leg is thinning. Oh, yes it is. Why would that be? How would that happen? Is that, hold on, what? Okay, so I found the post. And I gotta be honest, this reply cracked me up so good, I simply had to share it. So, someone named Remember No Canadian says, probably from rubbing on jeans. That's what happened to me when I wore jeans less and it came back. And OP says, you're almost certainly right. Though for the past 4 years, I've worn loose-fitting painter's pants and the hair loss started around January. Crawling around on my hands and knees, masking and painting baseboards probably doesn't help, but why now? And then we're given an update. Today I learned that I, like millions of adults worldwide, suffer from terminal and incurable disease called fictional apalachia. I'm sure I said that wrong as well, by the way. I don't know why. I think they meant fictional alopecia, but they wrote Appalachia. Apparently, my habit of wearing skinny jeans on the weekend, work pants during the week, and of course, my assless chaps at night, gave me cancer and type 3 diabetes or something like that. I'm not reading carefully, I got a new puppy in the house. According to the leg hair loss specialist, I have like 1 to 70 good years left of me depending on my choices from here on out. New research that I've just conducted shows that 1 in 3 men will experience terminal FA in their lifetime. Please, show support to the person in your life who suffers from this awful and overlooked disease. Which is such a great bit of banter, because if you post anything like this on Reddit, there's always going to be some guy in the comments being like, yeah, so I am an expert and you're going to die now, like right now. It doesn't thin like this unless you're dying today. Though if we're being serious, it probably is some sort of like, I don't know, like leg alopecia where it's like centered around there or something. I don't know, the body's weird and there can be all sorts of weird things that happen. That's just my 2 cents of what it most likely might be. My kids' swing hooks after 4 years of use. Those things have worn down. You see that? You see they're starting to really, just the metal is eroding. Time to replace those hooks, dude. My maple syrup was secretly crystallizing. Oh, well look at that. That's kind of majestic, honestly. What do you do once the maple syrup crystallizes? How does it even, why was it crystallizing? Is it temperature? I mean, even, regardless, man, I kind of want to bite into it. I want to take a bite. The restroom sign at the M&M store. Hell yeah. What a fitting, honestly, well done. I would expect nothing less. Instant coffee apparently can mold. Gross. But I would kind of expect nothing less as well, right? I mean, it feels like about everything can mold. Did you leave this out in a humid environment? How'd it gain all that? Did you leave it open? Dad's work cleaned house and found a pigeon nest made mostly of welding wire. Because nature finds a way, dude. Oh, and it's got a little egg. Isn't that beautiful? There's a little egg there, dude. That's so sweet. 1 oddly shaped Advil in a bottle of 100. You always gotta find the weird one. I would argue that that's a normal looking Advil in a bottle of weirdly shaped ones. The pill shape looks a lot more normal than the circle to me. I feel like it's the other way around. Partygoer signatures from the 1940s in the basement of my century-year-old home. That's pretty dope. This is pretty sick. What? Oh, I would not clean this at all. This is so fascinating to me. So yeah, we got this guy, 1947. New Mexico, here I come. Oh man, imagine the lives lived here. What was this? Me, my first initiation to Morris's abode. Joan Wallace in 1950. Another one, who turned off the lights, from Donnie in 1948. Wow, that's pretty remarkable, dude. This is, I don't know, just me personally, I think this is awesome. I'm so fascinated by this. Just having that history there is so cool to me. What a cool find. My collection of odd pasta shapes. And what do we got? We got a shooting star. Looks like a carrot, a Christmas tree, a heart, a present, a pumpkin, a cat, a pumpkin, a witch, another heart, a pumpkin. This one's a jack-o'-lantern. It's different than a regular pumpkin. A leaf, an Easter egg, a bow, a spider, flowers, a bat. Looking for anything else I might have missed. We got another kind of cat here, a stocking. There's Hello Kitty down there. The skull and crossbones. I see the Santa. Yeah, you got a wide variety of pasta you've collected over the years. This is an endoscopy pill camera you swallow to record your intestinal tract. Oh, nice. And then you get all sorts of info out of that, huh? I would be interested in doing one of those to see what's going on in there, you know what I mean? Even if I didn't need to, I'd be interested. One of my Japanese soda marbles is blue. It's the leader, clearly. This is your mega mind of soda marbles, leading a trove of henchmen. It looks like. The shadow of this sign in my neighborhood is just painted on the sidewalk. I live close enough and I had to go there and find out the truth. You're all welcome, and a lot of you are r/confidently incorrect. And we get to see what they saw. Okay, so here's the picture. Now this looks like a straight up shadow, right? But when we look at the very next photo, it does appear a little lighter, but I'm willing to say this is painted. This looks like an overcast day. If you look at the rest of the things here, there's nothing else that's cast in a shadow. Like the trees aren't cast in a shadow or anything like that. I'm willing, this seems like case closed. That's painted on. I found a spherical rock inside another rock, and he's just hanging out. It made a cool ass looking rock sculpture, right? Looks like he has a little eye. It's like a rock sperm whale, which is pretty neat. My measuring spoon is plastic, so the static made my onion powder spiky. That's pretty dope. Why are you putting onion powder in Chex Mix? I see what's in that bowl. What are you concocting? The squeaker inside my dog's toy comes with instructions to discard it. Game over. Your dog won. I mean, according to that pickle down there, yeah, I would say that pickle definitely is conceding to your dog winning as well. Time to go buy a new one. The amount of postage stamps that came on my package from China. God damn. Oh, let's see. Can I count how many there is here? I'm not going to try and count every single one. But that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Give me a second. I lied. I was going to count them all. I did it in post, just so you didn't hear me counting every single one. But I think that's around 240 postage stamps on this thing from the top to the bottom of the box. That's about how many I counted. I could be wrong, but goddamn, that's a lot of postage. My Philips beard trimmer has Super Mario printed on the circuit board. Pretty fire. I don't know why it would, but that's pretty sick. Tan lines after wearing a temporary tattoo at beach. And let me guess, it's just, yeah, I like that you wore the temporary tattoo. They make it look like you had some cool tats, but now you got just the tan line there until you go get a tan to even it out, which might be cooler. Who knows? Got tipped $80 in ones. Someone had to let go of all the ones. That's a free 80. You know what? Not free. You had to do the work for it. You know what I mean? That's $80 you wouldn't otherwise have. I'd take it. This tomato had healed over love message put in it from the farm. Oh, is that Ti amo? I think that says Ti amo. That's sweet. That's so adorable. Love messages in the fruit. Wow. A crocodile made of towels left by the hotel staff. And that's creative. And they even left, look at that. They even left some like wipes in there for you too. That's so considerate of them. The towel dial with the wipes. Just for you. 5-star service. A bee crashed into my pants while I was biking and left this pollen spot. Oh, poor guy. He was going as fast as his little bee brain could take him, and he crash landed. This duster at work looks like Marge Simpson. And that it does. That it absolutely positively does. What a great little duster. Now I need one that looks like the rest of the Simpsons family. This is like picture perfect Marge. I found a wallet on a Saturday. I left a note in a way so only the real owner could contact me. Putting together scavenger hunts. Black wallet found. You can contact me by solving this equation. 030532468. Your birthday, my phone number. On Monday, I will deliver it to the police station. Oh my God. Oh my God. This was last year. I found a wallet on a Saturday morning, so police stations were closed. Even if I left it in their mailbox, it couldn't have been retrieved until Monday. The wallet had their ID, but I couldn't find their contact info. So I left this note near the spot I found it to give the owner a chance to contact me and get the wallet back earlier, without revealing my info to the public, and to prevent random people calling me trying to get the wallet. They contacted me later that day and I verified them with the ID. I also asked the person to not share the contents of the note anywhere. Wow. First of all, how do you even come up with this? Okay, so I was curious and I looked up the post, and people had a lot to say about it. And I wanted to read this thread to you because I thought this was fascinating. From my Aggie son. That's very interesting. So assuming the person is older than 18 and younger than 95, there's about 28,000 possible combinations. And then we start deducting or investigating. Coffee Shop Jesus says the most common birth month is September, so start there. Also considering that it's in Finland, it's a male wallet, median male age being 42, most common birth date being 24th of August, most common months being August and September, a good first guess would be 240, and they grabbed that's just a number. 2408, 1983. And then necessary eggplant comes in. Quick Google search says most Finnish numbers start with 04, meaning it's between the 10th and the 19th in the month. My bet is it's the 19th, because O above the second D is a bit of an odd choice. Looks like it was the easiest way to make sure nothing is carried over to the left/next number, as it has to be 4. Could be a 0 though. And so now we're pretty confident it's the 19th of XX19XX, okay? Second Y, we'll go to the image again so you guys can see what we're looking at. I am streaming this, so I'm talking to chat here, by the way. So we have a second Y. It's most likely 4 plus 1, as the person was probably not born in the first 3 decades of the century, meaning 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 is the third Y. For the last Y, I don't have an idea. The first M has to be 0 or 1, and nothing is carried to the left, but odds are 1 to 6 in the favor of 0. For the second M, I don't have any ideas. It's not 0 though. There. Now we have 450 possible combinations. Starting with these demographic averages first, we'd call that number in a few hours. Jesus Christ. The way they broke that encryption so fast. And another user named Go Stalk Yourself commented about how interesting it is to go down the rabbit hole of how hackers, like early hackers, were successful through mostly social engineering. And there was one person who got into some telephone service by calling the service, getting put on hold, and then recording the hold service, then calling someone else and putting them on hold and playing the recording to make them believe it was an internal call. Someone else had gotten bus transfer punches from the city and a bunch of blank passes by claiming it was for a school project. And there was another case in Edmonton where a transit worker stole millions. But the details have been like just wiped. Fascinating stuff, the early world of hacking and breaking things like this. It's just really, really crazy stuff. My dad and his friends overplanned airport carpool schedule. All right, here we go. So this was sent. Guys, Bob's timeline looks good. I've added the rest of the stops for Jim. Leave Jim's at 7:38, arrive at Steve's at 7:50, and leave Steve's at 8 a.m. Arrive at Bob's at 8:20 and leave Bob's by 8:34 a.m. Arrive at Fran's at 8:47 and leave Fran's by 8:52. Arrive Fine at 9:22. Arrive United at 9:52. Board at 11:02. Depart at 11:52. See you all in the morning. I mean, not bad. Not bad to have all of this lined up, but if that goes wrong by any stretch of the imagination, you guys have thrown off all of your depart and boarding times. You aren't gonna make that flight. You gotta be frame perfect with that plan. My dog only chewed off the green sections of her soccer ball. Oh. Yeah, those are the parts she didn't like, huh? The green section, she just had to chew to shit. She's not a fan of the Hulk. So looking at the ball just a little closer, it looks like the green parts or whatever was, the green parts aren't, the ball wasn't green to begin with. These might have been blue or something else, because that looks like the underside of whatever the stitching is, right? Because dogs can't see the color red too well. So the fun part of the ball was a different color, right? Whatever color the shiny coating was, or the shiny material was on the top, like how the red and white is, maybe that dog was just a big fan of that color. Whatever that was, big fan of it. Real big fan of that color. My hotel gave me a chocolate vacuum cleaner. Okay, that's fascinating. I don't think I've ever seen this in my life. Chocolate Wait, what? But why? But why specifically a chocolate vacuum cleaner? But for what purpose? For what purpose, I must ask? I'm having a little trouble understanding for why. You know what I mean? I'm not quite, like, I understand it's gonna be delicious, right? It's free chocolate. But why the vacuum cleaner? Are they well known for their cleanliness? So well known, in fact, that they have chocolate vacuum cleaners? It just seems interesting. So I found the post, and some guy mentioned, their name is Chinny Chin. Some Hilton hotels I worked at had chocolate available in the shapes that would correlate with a different department like housekeeping or maintenance or front desk. If you've ever had to go up to the person's room to say clean it or the maintenance had to go to repair, they always left chocolate that represents their department. That's so, what? But why? I mean, that's interesting. It very much is mildly interesting, but it's also far more confusing than interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like it's their calling card. That's fun. Copper plate has kept the wall below it clean for over 100 years. Damn. Kept it, I mean, clean I wouldn't necessarily say, but free from other elements except for copper, I think I would say. What does this say anyway? This tablet was placed here by the Council of the City of York, October 1898, to record that this point of the wall was in the year 1889 restored to the city by Edwin Gray, who served the office of Lord Mayor in 1958. So we got a little bit of history there. That's a long ass time. And they just kept it there. Why was it moved? Why are we with history? I accidentally created an ear when blowing nacho cheese across a chip. Sorry, you blew nacho cheese? Wow. That is just it. You allowed it to hear. You gave it the gift of one of the 5 senses. You've created life on that chip. My cat's eyes changed colors over the years. Oh, well, how does that happen? Wait, well, how does a cat, that can happen? What? Sorry, hold on. I'm looking at this. There's a lot of posts like this. I guess it's normal. Very normal. Cat's eyes can just change color. I'm reading this from, it's called Morris Animal Inn, okay? As they age, you may notice your cat's eyes change color once or even multiple times. A majority of kittens are born with blue eyes, and as sight develops, cats' eyes often begin to change and take on a range of different colors, from browns and yellows to greens and oranges and ambers. And this change begins pretty soon, between like 3 to 8 weeks, and then will be done by the time your cat is 3 months old. But in adulthood, if your cat's eye color changes, that might be concerning. So if it's like a sudden color change over a short period of time, that's like an eye infection. That's interesting. So it's like cute and normal when it's a kitten, but if it gets older, that's like a sign of concern that some shit going down with your kitty cat. This container of magnesium uses the Irish flag for the English language. And that they do. Maybe it's made by the Irish. I separated the colors in my water game. Okay, no need for segregation in the game. Kind of fucked up if you ask me. Impressive to have done in the little game, but feels a little it feels like a little, I don't know, not a fan. This took way too much time. Previous homeowners filled in the gap between these doors. They did. They didn't like the gap. They weren't a fan, and they said, let's make it right. I don't know. I don't think I would have minded the gap. You know what I don't like? And maybe it's because I do voice work. I don't like the floors. I would like a carpet in there, please. Not a fan of that one bit. I feel like, I don't know, this feels like such a non-problem that they filled in. And not only that, if you look at it, this little piece, it's filled in there, but this makes it kind of crooked and off center with how these door frames are set up. This should have been like a corner piece, or it looks unnatural. Graffiti artists intentionally left markings uncovered on this train car. That's nice. That's considerate. I really like that. That is the most considerate thing I've seen from a graffiti artist. Like, you still wanted to tag your stuff, but you didn't want to like make this is so polite. I really appreciate this. Every time I wear my Galaxy Watch overnight, I get a hive spot where the infrared light hits my wrist. Seems like it's high time to take it off then, right? If it's giving you hives, take it off at night. These translucent / pearlescent Lego bricks from my kid's set. I have never seen pearlescent Lego bricks. Excuse me? I don't think I have ever seen this. These feel like These are so pretty. And I know it's plastic, but these are gorgeous. But these are the silent killers. You know what I mean? If you stepped on one of these, oh my God, you wouldn't know where it was at first. These are like, you know when thumbtacks have the clear little like push pin? It's like that. I don't know. These are very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this. What would these be used for? These kinds of bricks. You can buy them individually. They're listed as satin trans clear bricks. So I guess maybe for display pieces, right? I guess I just don't know. Cause I'm not a Lego guy. I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know what kind of build these be used for. I'm so confused. I don't know what set these are in. That's very pretty though. My town put up a work zone speed limit sign that's faster than that road's speed limit. So for a work zone, go about 45 miles an hour. When we're not working, drop that by 10, 35 miles per hour only. All right, but when there's men at work, when you could hit someone and send them flying across the street, slam the gas. Old growth lumber versus modern factory farmed lumber. Oh, dude, I actually love how old growth lumber looks. And if you can't tell the difference, here's how you do. The number of rings, the one that has, I'm pretty sure it's the one that has way more. That's the old lumber. It's just the idea of there being like just so much history there, you know? And I was reading this actual post, and there is maybe a little bit of a difference in the lumber. It makes, I think the farmed one is a little bit weaker, but the old growth, like we need old growth forests, you know? It's very necessary. The rings look gorgeous, but we need the old growth. While I was streaming this, someone in my chat, I'm gonna butcher their name, but Masamune JM, also let me know, and this is just a little fun tree fact, a hashtag tree fact for everyone, but the spacing on the rings also depends on the amount of rainfall or I guess water in general that the tree got that year. So if we look at the picture, these rings are pretty close together. I would assume this means this looks like an average rainfall, I'm gonna be so honest. But I guess if these rings were more densely packed, does that mean they would get more rain that year? I'm not sure what that would mean. I think more would mean it's closer, but there's so much history you can get from tree rings, you know what I mean? Okay, as I was wrapping this post up, I found a comment from someone who claims to be a wood technologist. So Few Vermicelli 4901 adds, wood technologist here. Genetic selection and engineering have been used to produce trees that grow faster. Yeah, the wood is still strong. Wood is one of the most amazing materials on Earth. The stuff with tighter growth rings is more dimensionally stable, however, not as prone to twist and warp. The lumber from Canada is most desirable for this reason. On average, it's stronger in bending since more of the microfibers in the cell walls are oriented along the long axis of the tree. Cellulose is the component of wood cells that gives it most of its strength. In faster grown trees, a larger portion of the fibers are oriented in more of a radial direction. All trees have a variability in all three axes: longitudinal, radial, and tangential. Closer to the center of a tree, there is what you call juvenile wood, which is where the microfibers are oriented more radially or tangentially. As the tree grows, it starts producing mature wood, which is stronger. This is different from what makes the rings appear the way they do. Each ring is composed of what is known as spring wood and summer wood or early or late wood. The cell walls get thicker at the end of the growing season, which is what makes that portion of the ring darker. Dopest tree lore, which is, I love the mildly interesting subreddits because I always learn something new, and I try my best to pass that on because I think it's, I don't know, I like leaving these with something new to learn. My yellow onion is actually a red onion in disguise. Ah, sneaky. You thought you'd fool us. No. We have two options, okay? Either we're playing around a TF2 and this was a red spy, or shallot. Make your choice, modern man. Spy in the base or a shallot? I know what I'm going with. One of the rower machines in my gym looks like it's growing algae. Gross. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, it looks, ow. Ew. Not a fan of that at all. It really looks yucky. They've put green Gatorade in there. Cause that probably is algae. You know what I mean? This is like a water rower that's not like not being maintained. But I've never also seen a water rower either. When I see these at the gym I go to, and by go to, I mean that I pass on my way to go somewhere else. I've always seen just fan system ones. I feel like these water ones are just, I don't know. It just seems like heavy maintenance to me. Seems not worth the trouble, right? I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. My bin and my neighbors are somehow equidistant from the street lights. So their shadows combine to form one perfect shadow bin in the middle. Oh my God. You guys did a fusion dance. You guys did a fusion dance and formed one perfect shadow bin. And that's the one that's evil. Sheepdog, before and after a little haircut. Oh, you removed all his personality, dude. He looked like such a funny boy before the haircut. Now he just looks confused. Oh man. Finally replaced my shoes that I wore 5 days a week for 5 years with a new pair of the same shoes today. Oh my. You could see all the years of wear and tear, the way the shoe warped to his weird ass foot, the way his foot has that weird ass bend. You see that? That other one's gonna break it. That's gonna break in the same way. 5 years of wear and tear will do that to you. I don't like that his foot's got a banana curve to it. I'm really not a fan of that. He's gotta get that checked out. This restaurant bathroom has 2 different soaps depending on when you wash your hands. Unscented for before eating or scented for after eating. That's considerate. That's like a big ass bill at the restaurant, but you get quality like this. You can't find that anywhere else. I don't think I have ever been into a restaurant. Obviously, you know, like it makes sense why they did this. Cause you know, if you have a scented soap that you're using, you're gonna taste that when you eat, especially if it's a food like a burger, you know, you're gonna taste it on the burger. So it's considerate. I like it. My eyes at 29 after 6 surgeries, 1 in the left eye and 5 in the right. Oh my God. What did you need done? What happened? What happened to your eyes that you needed 5 surgeries? Goodness gracious. Hold on. I found the post. I want to see if they talk about what happened. Okay. So we have the details here. At age 12, they were diagnosed with cataracts and had their first surgery at 13. And then it found out that it was more than just cataracts. Apparently, OP is missing some of their eye structure, which makes it incompatible with routine cataract surgery, okay? So they go to a specialist who had a technique of stitching the lens, but it was temporary. And so more issues sprung up because the eye structure's wrong. But since medicine moves so fast, there's new techniques and types of lens implants every time they visit. So their left eye that has the 1 surgery has an anterior implant, which is why it's visible, okay? That's why we can see the lines on it. While the one in the right eye is their 3rd intraocular implant. But they could see really well and only need reading glasses. So it ended up working out. And this person goes on, because it's a wild story and I'm really kind of fascinated by this. So their first surgery, since it failed, they were left with no implant in the eye and was basically blind without really stupid thick contacts. And so they pushed for more surgeries. They had to push for 3 of their surgeries because doctors weren't, exactly sure how good the vision would be with an implant considering the circumstances with their eyes. But they're shocked at how well it worked out for them. It's very fascinating. And I wonder, I don't know. Eyes are a fascinating thing to me because it's one of those things where our body doesn't recognize the eye. So they're just a completely different part of the body that it's going on in there that we don't know about. The Taco Bell in my hometown hasn't been updated since the 90s. And I say that's a blessing because this looks dope. I miss old 90s styles like this. There was an old place where I used to go to when I lived in Florida that was kind of like this, that had like this old vibe to it. It's nostalgic. It's nostalgic for something I was too young to experience because I was born at the very tail end of the 90s. So I wouldn't be around for that, you know what I mean? But this is sick. I love how this looks. The little gradient on the tables and the chair, this is a fun vibe. The only thing I don't like is the hospital white lights in here, making me feel like I'm at a medical asylum. The bar in Toronto uses this setup to demineralize tap water and remineralize it, because that's how that word sounds. Oh my God, remineralize. With different mineral levels to simulate tap water from around the world. And what do we have? What places do we have? Can we see? Assuming it's these 4 here, but I don't know which ones they are. They didn't really explain it, which I wish they did, because that sounds very fascinating to me. I found the post, and someone shared an article. So the bar is called Civil Works. And on the top floor is the Waterworks Food Hall. And the cocktails are all inspired by history. And an article about it reads as the following. Civil Works demineralizes Toronto tap water, rendering it completely neutral. Then remineralizes it with different levels of salt, magnesium, potassium, and other minerals to replicate water from different regions of the world. The idea is that a guest can drink a world-class spirit alongside its counterpart in world-class water. For example, a guest can order a Hibiki Harmony whiskey with sparkling Chichibu mountain water. Skeptics may be wary of the novelty, but it's more than a mere gimmick. The minerals interact with the spirits, bringing out different aromas and flavors to create whole new profiles. Currently, guests can sample dupes of water from Bardstown, the River Spey, the Chichibu Mountains, and Les Borderies, with or without a boozy sidecar. That is the most hipster I have ever heard, but I would be down. I would try that. It sounds fun. Like a tasting menu around the world. This is like some Epcot. The roots of this tree look like smooth stone. And oh my God, they do. Looks like they were mixed with concrete. What? Wait. What kind of tree is this? How does that? It does look like smooth stone. It looks like you've poured liquid cement onto the roots of this tree. So I found the tree. It's called a C-R-A-P-E, crap myrtle. And it's a genius of around 50 kinds of trees and shrubs. And apparently people hate these. At least in the Austin gardening subreddit, someone really hates them. Fascinating trees. I saw a vortex on my last flight. And okay, I found a video of it. You can see it much better here. Very polite for this vortex to have followed the arrows like that. You can actually see it form in real time. Like you're basically seeing the lift of the plane, like the way it's getting up there. Fascinating stuff. A common sight in the Netherlands. Water that is higher than the surrounding land. Yeah, it's a little higher, but that's okay because we're not flooded, so it's fine. A toilet in Estonia had a glass floor to show the underlying carved out rock. Whoa, that's cool, but what if a little critter pops up? What then? I'd be a little scared. A miniature Barbie spray bottle with a secret message. Goodness gracious, what does that say? I was gonna try and read it, but no, that is ancient text that belongs in a grimoire. What is this? All right, here we go. It reads something like, this is a secret message written in symbol text. You must be a genius for figuring it out. Good for you. They simply wrote this English sentence using Greek alphabet. Oh, I see. As a kid, I would have no idea what to make of that. I would think it's just like a spell. that they're hexing me. That is all I would pull from that. I found a perfect duck tomato. Oh wow. No, like right down to the beak, and this is picture perfect. At that point, it is more duck than tomato. This goat eating has an eating goat on it. And indeed it does. And on that goat is another goat eating if you look real closely, right? It's like, nested dolls, but it's eating goats. This sandwich is being advertised as having its recipe generated by AI. Truly good chicken. Recipe generated by AI. No thanks. I don't want to know what's in there. I don't want to know what's in the truly good sandwich. The truly generated sandwich. I'm not interested. Section of banned books in a Barnes and Noble. All right, let's see. Do we have reasons why they were banned? I can barely see why they would be banned, but we got a couple of them. We have I Am Jazz, Where the Wild Things Are, a kid's book about banned books, which is, fitting. Bridget Terabithia, The Witches, The Outsiders, Speak, The Hate You Give. Another book about banned books, White Page, The Feminine Mystique. So do we have reasons of why these are banned? Because I'm not super up to date on why books get banned, or why these certain books rather were banned. I would love to know why. Okay, so thankfully, a user named Already Taken, WTF, made a, just listed the books and why they were banned. So I Am Jazz, Julian is a Mermaid. A lot of these books were banned for LGBTQ themes, which like stuff like, you know, transgender identity, gender nonconformity, things like that it got banned for. Other books like Banned This Book by Alan Gratz was a story about censorship in and of itself and was challenged for including banned book themes. A little lower on the shelf, like the third and fourth shelf, Lord of the Flies was banned for being a very violent book. The Giver was a book about the themes of euthanasia and dystopian elements. Really, really interesting to see why these got banned. And most of these bans that they noted occurred in US school districts and public libraries because of parental pressure or political pressure with those themes around sexuality, race, violence, religion. Very, very, very interesting. I'm kind of fascinated that, you know, the way books will get banned for things. It really, I feel, I don't know. I mean, seeing 1984 in there is kind of like a double take because of the whole theme of the book being very anti-authoritarian. It's, I don't know. I feel like there's a strong political statement you can make for, you know, not in support of the books being banned, of like a political statement you can tie to people banning books and like why they do it. And it's just so weird to me. I feel like it's the creative works like that I don't think should be banned. And obviously, just so we're clear, this isn't like this section of books. It seems really like in the Barnes and Noble. This selection of books seem to be specifically books that have been banned in the past or present, that were removed from like school curriculum or libraries. It's not like every banned book in history. And just because it's on the shelf in this Barnes and Noble does not mean that it's banned everywhere. Because I know you'll see like Where the Wild Things Are or Bridge of Terabithia, and you'll be like, why is that banned? I read that. That's not banned. I just find it interesting. You know, even if it's like a book that was banned, like, you know, back in the day, and then that ban was lifted, that still counts as like a banned book. It's just an interesting history lesson of like why these things were banned. And if you're more, you know, fascinated on, you know, banned books and like, I guess, books that have been challenged, right? There is a list of books like that. I think it's the ALA has a list of the most challenged books in 2024, and the ALA being the American Library Association. So if you're interested about banned books and you know, the list of banned books in the States and stuff, I'm assuming it probably covers Canada too. ALA would probably be a good source for that. I'm not going to spend too much longer on that. I just find it interesting that, you know, you could buy a book like, you know, 1984 and then think like this got banned for this reason at some point in time. It's just fascinating to think about. And then there's that additional weight and context when you're reading. I think that's very interesting, you know. Even though all the hair on my body is black, my mustache and beard are red. I actually have something similar. The hair on my face grows in more reddish than the hair on my head and everywhere else. I have no idea why that is. I would love an explanation. And God bless the EmKay post collectors, because they included a big, beautiful, long source for me. So why do some men have red beards but not red hair? And this was a article by Benjamin Plackett. I'm not going to read this article like, you know, bar for bar for bar. I'll just kind of read the most, you know, interesting parts. Okay. If you want to read the full thing, you can, you know, pause or find the article or something, but here it is. So there is a mutation in a gene known as MC1R, which controls the production of pigment in your hair cells, among other things like, you know, fair skin or pain perception. And I bring that up because local anesthetic is less effective for redheads, interestingly enough. But hair color in particular is determined by two different pigments. Is it eumelanin? I'm hopefully, you know, getting that right. Eumelanin is responsible for black tones and pheomelanin causes red ones. So people with black or dark brown hair likely only have eumelanin, or it's the dominant pigment, where blondes will have less of both types of pigment than people who have dark hair or are redheads, and that leaves redheads having mostly pheomelanin. One role of the MC1R gene is to code a protein, or code for a protein, that's called melanocortin. And melanocortin, it converts red pigment into the black one. okay? But if someone has a double mutation in the MC1R gene, the proteins aren't as effective, leading to red hair. So when someone has a red beard paired with a darker head of hair, the genetics get a little weird. And according to Nina Jablonski, a director of anthropology at Penn State University, and her research was specifically around the biology of hair hues, right? But according to Jablonski, not Jablinski, Jablonski, she said, quote, "This will almost certainly be due to the differential expression of MC1R in the follicles of beard hair versus scalp hair, resulting in the production of a different mixture of dark brown eumelanin and yellow-red pheomelanin." So in, I guess, simpler terms or layman's terms, the same gene is behaving differently in different parts of the body. And that is likely due to one mutation, a single mutation of the MC1R gene, rather than a double mutation. Maybe I'm just also a little dull. But there's one part of this article, the way it's written, I don't quite understand what they mean. But they say, when they say that, having darker hair but a redder, more reddish beard, rather, means you have a single mutation of the MC1R gene rather than a double mutation. In the article, it says, meaning that person is effectively a carrier of the redhead gene. And I don't know, does that just mean that those with one mutation are a carrier, effectively? I'm guessing that's what that means, right? The human body and the way our genetics work is so weird and fascinating. Having someone who is studying the biology of hair hues, like that's so wild that we have someone doing. It's cool. It's cool as hell. I like it. I'm into it. Received a bill for $0.00 in the mail, including a due date, and even threatening a late fee if I don't pay it by the due date. Oh no! Let's see. New balance $0, minimum payment $0, due by the 18th. And hey, if we don't get your minimum payment, you're gonna have to pay a $41 late fee, and that's how they get you. That is how they're gonna get you. And Just Pop Hammond said, I had a situation with T-Mobile years ago where they actually owed me some money. It wasn't a lot, just a few dollars. They sent me a bill for negative $3 and I didn't pay. And sure enough, they charged me a late fee. Why they can do that, I don't know. So looking into the post a little bit, this just seems like, if you owe $0. This looks like a standard template thing, right? And like the late payment warning is probably just boilerplate for every bill, right? That's likely what's going on, is like they just have the late fee warning for everything. And it's just there as like stock. Even though you owe nothing, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's just gonna be there no matter what. You're not actually gonna have to pay a late fee. They just have that there because it's like it's like how YouTubers can have like sections of their description and stuff already filled out. This is that for the company. Purchased item came with 4-leaf clover as a thank you. Thank you for your order. Thank you for choosing our product. As a token of our appreciation, we've included a 4-leaf clover card symbolizing luck, hope, faith, and love. That's nice. That's like a little personalization touch for their business. And like they include why they send it, like what it symbolizes to them. That's sweet. I don't have a problem with that. That's fun. This house I drove past had a soft drink can collection. Is it that dude who's addicted to soda? Oh my God, I just saw it in real time. Wow. Soda addiction, man. Just out of curiosity, because there's a lot of bottles there, a lot of cans there. How much money in aluminum do you think they have there that they could scrap? So the things that I think about that are stupid, how much money in aluminum do they got there? Okay, so while looking at how many cans there were, I went to look up the photo, and this is actually a piece of art. It's a tourist attraction called the Great Can Wall of Moorabbin in Melbourne, okay? And someone called Tell Me Your Fave Memory linked reviews of it that called it a genius modern masterpiece, and they had this to say, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Privately commissioned in 2020, it's undergone several rounds of further development, unveiling its current splendor. There are certain dark undertones. Prominent art critics pointed out that the cheerful, colorful facade of the wall is hiding a cry for help. Lots of people can relate to the fact that with the rising cost of residential real estate in Australia getting increasingly out of reach for most of us, we're forced to buy shoe boxes in most unpleasant locations, like this busy, noisy intersection where the Great Can Wall is housed. And to alleviate the crushing depression, people turn to drinking, literally building a wall between themselves and the cruel world outside. A wall so tall that not even sunlight can reach you. Wow. That is... The way that the reviewer who left that on a TripAdvisor, what they said is so powerful to me. And really, like, I don't know, it's so fascinating as a read. And dude, art is so cool because of the amount of interpretations you can take from it. it's so cool to me to see so many different interpretations, right? That, you know, anyone can have, right? I know I started this by, you know, wondering how much money in aluminum cans they had, and now I have a greater appreciation for why they're there. That's such a cool piece of art, and it getting people to think about, like, you know, the state of the world and how turning to vices like drinking can alleviate the crushing weight of like living in modern society and how expensive things have gotten. I think that's very beautiful. That's very powerful as a piece of art. Yeah, that's really cool. That's a really cool thing. This strip of film I found blowing around outside. Oh, and it's of, what are those, burgers with mustard and, no, that's cheese and ketchup. Just a strip of film of a little burger, a delicious burger, 2 of them, a delicious meal. My school has the South of Vietnam flag instead of the regular Vietnam flag. Do you think they know? Do you think they're aware of that? Or are they just, you know, kind of swinging by the seat of their pants? I feel like judging by the size of the TV on the wall, they're swinging it. The way my glass broke points directly towards where it was hit. They're showing you the scene of the crime, right where the crack happened. This hotel uses old student IDs as room keys. That's fun. That's gotta be a trip. And you know what? Is he still around? Subject to conditions on the reverse side. Graduate hotels. Is that their whole gimmick? Hold on. So in 2017, Graduate Hotels launches with hotels in called Graduate Athens and Graduate Temp. And then they opened 3 new hotels in 2015 in Charlottesville, Madison, and Oxford. These hotels are, I gotta figure out where the, this is so neat. Sorry, I've never seen something like this. Their mission is to create spaces worthy of their communities, which that's cool, but also like, is their whole thing that they build? Here we go. I found their about. Inspired by the dynamic and unique college towns that we call home, Graduate by Hilton is a collection of welcoming one-of-a-kind experiences rich with, quote, local history, charm, and pop culture nostalgia. That's so fascinating to me. I'm not even like, I can't even dunk on like the idea. That's so cool. I don't know. I find that fun and thematic. I know I haven't mentioned that it's C.S. Lewis on the ID. And you know what? That's fair. I probably should mention that first, right? That's C.S. Lewis. That is a famous man, is that not? He wrote Narnia, right? However, Graduate Hotel, so they open in university towns, and each hotel, they decorate themselves to reflect the local university and incorporate their colors. So for Oxford University, it's dark blue. For Ole Miss, it's red and blue. I don't know, man. That is so cool to me. The key card now gimmick makes sense. I've never stayed at one of these, so that was lost on me. We're gonna pretend like I mentioned C.S. Lewis right at the beginning because I'm a smart guy, but that's just fun. That's a fun gimmick. I love hotels that have like a personality like that. That's sick. This house looks like a suspended shipping container. Wow. And the car's wrapped too. Is it wrapped? Hold on. Oh, it's just tarp. I thought they like had a custom wrapped car or something. No, that's just tarp. That is pretty sick, actually. I would feel a little concerned living there, but that is just what a wacky design for a house. That's fun. I found a Jack and Coke in Europe, which is twice as strong as the one in the US. Let's see, what is it? A 10% alcohol by volume? It's because they're not playing about their drinking over there. They're like, listen, we're casually drinking, they're competitively drinking. That's a different sport, man. Perfect E appeared in my lint filter. It is, wow. That is a perfect E. The most common letter in the alphabet, and now the most common letter in your lint filter. One of my matches was all potassium chlorate. Damn. Do you just throw that one in as a kindling? What do you use? What do you do with that one? I wouldn't ignite it. It feels a little scary. The swing mount is almost completely worn out. Oh yeah. No, it's been going. It's almost all that is a lifetime of fun people have been having on that swing set. That's how you know. They've been having a great time, but it's time for it to be replaced with something new because you don't want an accident to happen. Cashier added a "not this time" to my order. Let's see, what'd you get, man? A quarter BLT, large coffee, medium fries, and a "not this time." You got one not this time. Available at your local McDonald's, only at participating locations. This is the option you choose on the automated order screen to not round up for their charity. Guessing it's the same on their POS? Oh, probably. That would make sense, right? But that seems like something that you would do on your end. I don't know why that would show up on the receipt. The last inch of my eyebrow pencil was empty. Oh no. You're owed an inch of eyebrow pencil. I don't know what brand this is, but you should take it up with them. They'll send you a free product, hopefully. Real fake door printed and stapled to church being renovated. Dude, they're doing the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner bit. Someone's gonna walk right into that. Are you kidding me? They're pulling the Rick and Morty real fake doors bit. You wanna come on down to real fake doors? All the doors are real. Yeah, real fake. They're literally doing the bit. The remote of a TV at an Airbnb has a mosquito button. And where is it? Where is the mosquito button at? I'm looking. I'm looking for it. I'm missing it so far. Where's the mosquito button at, man? I see TV. I see. Oh yeah, mosquito away at the top. Nice. And that's just automated like that through the remote? Luxury. Georgia Aquarium uses RFID cups to track how many refills you have left. That's pretty sick. No free, you get a certain amount before you got to pay for more, I guess, but they got to figure out a way. Are those just, I'm guessing those are expendable, right? And they're just mass producing these. That's neat. That's real neat. My shotgun shells have flaxseed in them. Why? Why would it have flaxseed? Is there a reason for this? I'm not a gun guy. I don't like guns, so I wouldn't know if there's a reason for this to happen. Okay, so I've got a response from Yankee Doodle 896. For those wondering, using flax is fairly common in shotgun shell manufacturing. It can be beneficial in producing tighter patterns of pellets downrange and can extend the practical distance you can expect to ethically harvest critters. And other people have never heard of that. But most quote shit shells with larger pellets, we're talking a 4, a 2, a B, a double B, and a triple B, have some sort of buffer mixed in to fill the gaps. Tiny plastic pellets are common, but things like flaxseed can be a way to reduce on the microplastics, I guess. That's... I never knew that this was, something that they do, right? I guess it makes sense, right? Using the flaxseed to avoid having more plastic. And according to OP, that these shells were specifically made for waterfowl hunting. So using the flaxseed, you're probably avoiding getting more plastic in the water, which is a positive. He also mentions that the shotgun shells typically contain wadding, which is the clear plastic sticking out of the shell. A wad being a cup that carries the shot out of the barrel. The flax being the buffer, and the shotgun shell being the last thing the waterfowl feels, unfortunately. But at least it's more sustainable than plastic, right? I would hope so. I found a 6-leaf clover in the backyard. Oh, is that, two leaves more lucky than a 4-leaf? Is that extra lucky? The sink at this place is so small that the soap dispenser just lives in the sink and it's squishy. Gross. Oh, I didn't think you ended like that. Oh, they could have mounted that on the wall. What are you doing? Why is it in the sink? Oh, this B&B reminds guests to steal toiletries before they check out. Let's see. Some rules, clothes, keys. Oh, checkout list. Wallet or purses, passport, phones, chargers, laptop or tablet, toothbrush or makeup kit. Check the safe, the bedside tables. Make sure to bring the kids. Check the terrace or balcony, under the bed sheets, the closets, and steal those toiletries. It's not a B&B stay without taking them with you. Excuse me? A vomit pool in a restaurant in China. Okay. I see. This makes more sense because when you said vomit pool, I was under the impression that you meant like you go to a restaurant, you have a delicious meal, right? And you feel the need to go to the bathroom. You're on just for extra fun, you're on a first date. You're on a first date, you go to the bathroom, right? And you walk in and there's a stench that hits you and it is just a trough. Thankfully, that's not what this is. I think the phrasing vomit pool really kind of threw me off there. I'm not gonna lie. I think it really kind of disturbed me. But this seems considerate. This is like having a bidet, but it's so that way. Also, I mean, at the same time, oh no, look at the diagram. Sorry, I'm all over this post. This post is fascinating me. Is this common in China? Is this something that is often seen? I had to Google it, okay? And it's called a Kotzbecken, and it's a basin for people to vomit into. And while this one was in China, these are also installed in some bars and restaurants and student fraternities in German countries and Vietnam as well. The Kotzbecken is installed at waist height with handles for you to grip onto, and a shower head to flush it all out. And obviously, as you would assume, these Kotzbeckens, they are becoming really associated with, the heavy drinking of student bodies. And in this Wikipedia post I'm reading, they have also been provided at supervised injection sites for drug users, which that is a totally different thing that I don't have time to get into. I have never heard of a supervised injection site. What is, sorry, I didn't know that was a thing. I have never heard of that, but that is off topic. If you are wondering, Damien, why is this called a Kotzbecken? I'm glad you asked, dear viewer. So it's normally called a Spybecken. I probably, mispronounced that, but it comes from the German word Speien I'm hoping is Speien to spit, and Becken, which is bowl. However, in certain parts of Austria and Germany, it's known as the Kotzbecken, from kotzen, to puke. And they're nicknamed Papst or Pope because people have to bow their heads to use them. And according to this article, this post, some German-speaking regions, vomiting is known as Papsten or poping. So next time you puke, next time you're poping about after a heavy night of drinking, just know that if you were in certain parts of Austria or Germany, there'd be a place for you. How much vomit they're anticipating, God only knows, but they've built a whole toiletry for it. And I think that's preparedness at its finest. My local store puts out warning, product got smaller labels. Oh, yeah, there we go. Product got smaller. 4 of them got smaller. But the rest of them, these seem like they're fun. The other ones seem like they're still the same size. So you can enjoy those and know you're getting the same amount for the price. Poured hot tea in the glass split in the middle. Like a perfect crack. I thought this was gonna be like just a, like a hairline crack. No, that split right in half like it cracked open a geode. I burned my bath. How do you, huh? I'm already stumped post 1. Oh, wow. No, you weren't kidding. It's like it's melted. It's singed. It's like you poured an acid onto it. What happened? You're not going to explain how? Oh, don't you worry, Infinite Breakfast. I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out right now. All right, I went to the post and I found something from OP. They say, well, let's say it was a tiny ritual with burning some things. One of them, Queen of Spades in a bowl. I think I closed the bathroom door too violently and it created a vortex because when I opened the bathroom door after 10 minutes, there was a fire. I suspect that my oil-rich shower gel visible in the corner was a great fuel. A ritual for what exactly? What were you trying to conjure? What did you need? Were you trying to summon a demon to learn its real name and then banish it? What was the point here? You lit a fire in your house and then left it unattended? Were you trying? I cast house fire. What's the point? Wait, are you stupid? This old discolored candy portrait of Justin Bieber at Ripley's Believe It or Not. Dude. Oh, nice, Justin. Looking, did you do something with your hair, dude? Dude, I remember going to Ripley's. Where I used to live, there was a Ripley's. And they had this, like, at the end of the exhibit, they had a tunnel you'd go through that, like, the walls would spin, but the floor was stable. Dude, it was the shit. I loved Ripley's. Carotenosis. I don't know what that is. Is that the carrot thing? Before and after. Left was me in December. Right now, right is me now after I stopped eating carrot. Okay, it is the carrot thing. Right after I stopped eating carrots every day. And you are certainly looking a lot more orange in the left picture. You were turning into one. So what happens? I had to refresh myself on carotenosis. And it's reversible. And all it is that it's when you have too many carrots or carotenoids in general, like a carotenoid being like the yellow orange pigments produced by plants and stuff. Having too many of those in your digestive system results in your skin turning into discoloring to orange on the outermost layer. And that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if it's harmless, then I feel like it's something silly to talk about, you know? You're turning into a carrot because you had too many. You are what you eat. That's crazy. Coffee is the exact same color as my mug. Oh, that's nice. You and your coffee are matching. Wow. I thought it was going to be like a bit, but that's like the same hue. It's the same hex code. It's all of it. It's if you know, if I couldn't tell there was a liquid, I'd think it's empty. That's the matching. That's how much it matches. Yeah, you can only tell it's a liquid because there's no depth to it. You know what I mean? Like you can see where it levels out. Someone put a cone to protect the sleeping homeless man in the gym parking lot. That's sweet. Are we sure he's sleeping? Just the way he's laying. I'm a little concerned that that's not sleep. You know what I mean? Okay, I was a little concerned, so I went to go look for the post, and there is an update. So some of the comments worried OP, and they had got off work and the gym was still open, so they came by, and the homeless guy had moved along. So OP goes inside and talks to the front desk guy at the gym, because the gym manager, whoever it was working there, said he would have heard if someone had needed medical attention in the parking lot, and that the homeless guy was probably just sleeping, and then as it started to get warm, he woke up. So it was probably a situation where the guys in the parking lot saw him when they came to work, but didn't want to disturb him, but still wanted to keep him safe from cars, so they used the cone, which is a pretty good call. Because, I mean, let's be real here. That guy was taking up 2 spots. He could have gotten run over, you know? You know, parking overnight like that that's mean. I'm sorry. But I'm glad that they went to go make sure that everything was okay. And I'm glad to know that the guy was indeed sleeping, because that could have been really bad otherwise. I'm happy that was the most positive ending possible for this, you know? Visible decline in hash brown quality from one Walmart package to the next. Let's see. Oh my, it's just a potato brick shaved down, all the detail removed from the hash brown. It's unrendered. What the hell? I worked for a potato processing plant when I was a young adult. Here's the secret. All store brands are major brands that fall out of quality control for the brand. Rather than just throwing them out if they are even remotely salvageable, they get packaged as some store brand or other generic brand. Believe it or not, Great Value is not the lowest quality or most inconsistent brand out there. Ever see the Great Value patties that are shaped like McDonald's hash browns? Guess what? They are. But they have too much or too little salt content, fried too dark or too light due to sugar content, or any other measurement the original buyer says they'll buy. The tater round that looks like they could be BK, Taco John's, or Hardee's? Guess what? Fries, same thing. End of the run, product changeover, any number of things. I honestly thought this was common knowledge. Even if the product is inedible, like somehow gets burnt in the par fry, it gets sold as livestock feed. About the only time product gets dumped is for contaminants such as metal, glass, or other foreign material. Then it gets filtered and ground for non-food grade starch. Each successive step down is a reduction in the amount the producer can charge for it. So they do their best to keep it at the quality of the primary buyer, but things happen. People forget to refill the condiment hopper, the potatoes are suddenly a different quality and need additive adjustments. So yeah, you'll buy 2 packages of the same product and see that it's way different quality. You can look at a lot of the information that's printed by the sell-by date and if the production date is close to each other. They should be pretty darn similar, because that means they were packaged in the same run. And what an interesting, insightful comment. I figured it would be something like that, of it being just, you know, manufactured close together. And we all know that generic brands are just like the leftovers of big brands, like, you know, the big box brands, you know. So this all checks out. I think this is cool. Color difference between Martini opened 2 years ago and a brand new one. So why do you have a Martini from 2 years ago is my initial question. And yeah, gross. Over time, it's gotten all sorts of yuck. All right, so I Googled it. This is a vermouth. And those are aromatized wines. So once you open something like a vermouth, you have to keep it in the fridge. And even then, it's like a 3-month shelf life. So this thing should have gone in the bin a while ago. Like a while ago. My egg yolk fell off. Oh no. It slid right off the damn white. What happened? I'm pretty sure this is just what happens when the white isn't fully cooked and the yolk just falls off of it. But I don't know for sure. Oscar Mayer bacon grease doesn't congeal after 36 hours in the fridge. That's on the left versus Costco bacon grease on the right. Oh, gross. Oh no. So this led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole to figure out what was going on. And it seems like it might have something to do with the fat containing higher proportions of unsaturated fat compared to other, ways to feed the pigs. So it's like the saturation levels of fat. Things like commercially raised pigs are typically fed diets that are high in corn and soy that produce more polyunsaturated fats with lower melting points, while pasture-raised pigs produce more saturated fats that will solidify at those refrigerator temperatures. So it's all a diet thing before the pig is even butchered. Isn't that interesting? The difference between a new hair tie and one I've used for 19 days. And oh yeah, you can tell, like, I'm guessing the one that's been used has got it's been stretched out because you've been using it over and over and over again. I understand. That's what elastic does. My university gave us, quote, harm reduction kits on our last day of school. What's a harm reduction kit? It's fentanyl test strips. Okay. We got a soft baked oat bar that would have been gone day one. What else do we got? How to use the fentanyl test strip. This, you know what? This is nice. The more that I think about this is like a nice touch. But why were you given this? There has to be a reason, right? They didn't just look at you and go, yeah, you'd probably use fentanyl. Like what? Why were you given this? All right, I gave this some thought. So I never went to like a proper college. I went to a trade school. So when I graduated, that was it. I didn't do a party or anything. The more that I think about this, and I look at what's there, right? Some of the items that are just contained in this kit. It's like emergency, pamphlet on unhealthy substance use. There's a condom in there, earplugs. Towards the condom is a roofie-proof drink cover. Clearly, this is handed out because when you graduate college, there might be a college party or some sort of celebration, and this is to reduce the harm that could happen at a graduation party. Which I think, you know what? When I contextualize that, I think that's really nice of their college, and I think more colleges should do that. That's pretty solid. I did read the comments, and a lot of people were like, well, why is there no Narcan? But according to OP, their school gave out Narcan for free. So they had their bases covered, man. That's pretty good. This Chinese Harry Potter collection is split into 20 equally sized books rather than the traditional 7. And what do we got? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the master collection, huh? Oh yeah. I mean, how do you end? So I wonder how they're ending each book then, because you're adding an additional 13 books to the collection. How are they ending these? I wonder if there's any significant differences. Okay, so the titles on the spine, they're all split up into parts, right? So you have Philosopher's Stones Part 1 and 2, Chamber of Secrets 1 and 2, Azkaban 1 and 2, Goblet of Fire is split into 3 parts, Phoenix is split into 4 parts, Half-Blood Prince is in 3 parts, and then Deathly Hallows is into 4 parts. So they're not combining books. They just split the bigger ones up into multiple parts. So it's probably like the end of the chapter and then they split it, which I think is pretty solid. But then I wanted to see okay, well, if they're splitting these up that way and breaking the bigger books up into smaller portions, how are they doing the covers? And that's when I found another Reddit post from 4 years ago that showed the covers. So for example, right, I was looking at the Goblet of Fire, which is split into the Quidditch World Cup is the first cover, and then you have Dumbledore pulling Harry's name from the goblet, and then you have an underwater scene. So it looks like they're trying to choose which scenes to include as covers without spoiling too much. I thought it was neat. I liked it a lot. This was pretty cool. I do think that some of these were kind of hits and misses though. I was looking through some of the covers and you see the basilisk in one of the covers, and that's it's a pretty big spoiler, right? But otherwise, that's pretty cool. So I would assume that they're breaking these up because I don't ever see this in the West. But I would assume that this is probably reflective of customer habits, if they prefer portability in their books or light reads, and so breaking it up in that way would make more sense. And I think that is pretty neat. I was reading something with that. And the book Wheel of Time. This is a different country. This is in Japan, but I think it kind of the theory maybe tracks of like breaking things up into parts, you know. But the Wheel of Time in Japan is like I think I read it was like 30 something books because of how many like books there are, like how big the books are in English or something like that. I don't know if that's fully accurate, but I would believe that, you know, them selling books this way in like a more condensed fashion per installation in the series is reflective of their consuming habits. I think it's neat. I like it. Infant development milestones. These are important to keep track of. All right, from 1 month, they're laying on their back, arms and feet in the air. Number 2, 2 months in, they're crawling. Maybe not all the way, but they're trying their best. They're laying on their tummy now. Number 3, they're either playing with a ball or hanging from a trapeze rope. Your call. Depends on if you're working in the circus or not. At 4 months in, they're learning how to stretch their arms out. At 5 months, they're rolling around. That is their preferred method of travel. 6 months in, their preferred word is blah, 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 blah. At 7 months, this should be when the batteries attune with the charge in the outside world and they start vibrating intensely. And that leads us to 8 months where the baby sits upright to get the vibrations to stop. At 9 months in, the baby is going to be finding a seat to sit upon. That leads us to 10 months where the baby has now turned that stool into a cube and they're now leaning up against it cool guy style. 11 months in, they've dropped the blah, blah, blah for mama and papa and they are shaking their fist at you because they're little troublemakers. And then at 12 months, those damn shakes are back, but at least they're walking. And those are all the things you need to know about infant development. I hope you're ready to take on the world, because they sure will be. Daughter with vitiligo has a super long eyelash. Damn. Yeah, she does. Is that a common thing? Just so we're clear, I don't think the vitiligo and the eyelash are related. Like the color of the eyelash is related, like it's the symptom, you know, the white eyelash, but I don't think the length of the eyelash is related. That's just like one of those weird, like, you know, human bodies had do weird human body things. But the way I would have, you know, yoinked that out of my face so fast, maybe not do it. That's a little violent. Maybe scissors and gently cut it off, but still, I don't know how you live with that. I'd be tickling my cheek. I'd be so mad. Sign at the Dead Sea, Jordan, lowest point on Earth. You're at the lowest point on Earth, 420 meters below sea level. Speaking of the ocean, what else something crazy I learned recently, and if I'm wrong, my bad. But I learned that the Mariana Trench is the deepest point in the ocean that we know of. In the trench is like only like 7 miles deep. When you think about that kind of blows my mind relatively, because you can drive 7 miles and not blink an eye. In perspective, it's not that much, but when you think about it being the ocean, it's like, that's a lot. That's really deep. It just kind of blew my mind that that's like one of the deepest points we know of. And in terms of distance, we hit that in traffic, no problem. It was kind of remarkable to me. This display at the McDonald's headquarters in Chicago has the Russian M switched off. Oh, they've lost. It's been decommissioned. You can rest your golden arches. You are no longer needed. My late mother's monthly bill breakdown in April of 1993. Who's ready to get mad? All right, let's see. All right. In April of 93, we had what? Rent was $275. No. Barbecue, what was that? That's not barbecue. Wow. BB, is that church? $150 for the church, under $20 for cable. Burial ins is $36, $38.86 for the phone, $500 in cash. Electric is $43.73 for the month. Oh, who else is mad at seeing just $1,000 he had to pay during that month? Man. And now it's $2,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that markup insane? This no-name branded grocery store. Welcome to No Names. Huge wall message to remind you how much you'll save. Checkout for scanning cheap. This is fun. I would go to the No Name store. The prices look unbeatable. I see $1 over there, $4 for whatever that is there. Seems like a steal. The amount of oil that came out of this corn chip overnight. Oh, dude, it's leaking. It's actually leaking. Dude, your corn chip sprung a leak. In like a perfect circle too. This seafood restaurant uses oyster shells instead of gravel for its parking medians. That's fun. I mean, this makes sense, right? It's a seafood place that says oyster bar right there. What are they gonna do? Toss out all those shells? No, I like that they're reusing it. And it's practical. I like that. I think that this is fine. And don't oyster shells got a lot of useful things in it for plants anyway? I could be totally wrong there, by the way. I might not be correct. But I would imagine that since it's like a biological thing, it could be helpful. Poster at the local bar in the women's bathroom, which shares the secret phrase for communicating problems to the bar staff. Nice. All right, what do we see? Bad night? Tell your bartender about the broken glass in the bathroom for help. Someone making you feel uncomfortable, unsafe, or just acting sketchy. First date, not who they said they'd be. Friend had too much to drink, but will be pissed at you if you tell the bartender to cut him off. Tell your second floor bartender or the blank house manager there's broken glass in the washroom. We'll ask you to show them where and take you somewhere private so you can let them know what's going on and what they can do. Whether we have to kick out a creep, make sure you get home safe, walk you to your car or bus, or if you just want to keep us an eye on someone, that's solid. That's a solid ass bar. Blank wants to everyone have a safe and fun time. Safe and fun. That's the bar's middle name. This sign at the pool prohibits people with diarrhea to enter the water. I am stunned that we had to have a sign for this. Persons having currently active diarrhea or who have had active diarrhea within the previous 14 days shall not be allowed to enter the pool water because it's pool water, not poo water. Just know the difference, man. In Rome, you can buy a calendar of good-looking priests. Finally. Dude, this is finally a calendar for the sophisticated zealot. Scrubby Daddy. You mean Scrub Daddy? Size between new and 1.5 years of use. Oh, you put that Scrub Daddy to work. It looks like Squidward at the end of one of those SpongeBob episodes where like deflated. You know what I'm talking about? When Squidward like pull his nose like popped and his head just deflates. That's what that yellow Scrub Daddy's looking like. But that blue one, that daddy's ready to go. He's ready to serve. The yellow one, it might be time to hang him up. Send him to the retirement home. Cash out his IRA. My wife and I use the shower tiles and bath crayons to play shower Scrabble. I have never heard of a bath crayon. But look at that. Oh, they're having fun. Let's see. What do we got here? Hero, posers, work, ass, rainbow, twerk, tits, periods, studio. Oh, you guys are having a great time. Who's winning though? Fell asleep on my headphones and it's left this pattern on a bruise. Still there over a day later. Oh, and what'd you say you fell asleep on? Your headphones? And look, it looks like you got messed up now, dude. That bruise is dark too. What happened to you? My new mandolin slicer slices carrots so thinly they look like biological specimens. Damn, well, can't you set the size on a mandolin? I don't think you have to have carrots that you can see through each time. I'm pretty sure you could set the thickness, but dang, that's a sharp ass mandolin. That's a good purchase. This dandelion has a huge stem. Wow, damn. Yo, put that away. Put that thing away, dude. The daddy lion? Come on, man. That's fair. But how does that even happen? How does the dandelion get the girthiest stem I've ever seen? They're kind of crazy. I saw another post like this, by the way, where there was like a mutant super dandelion. It looks like it might be a process called fasciation. I can't remember if I've ever talked about this on the channel before, but fasciation, it's also called cresting, and it's a kind of rare condition in vascular plants around the apical meristem, which I don't know what the hell that is. I'm just reading that one. That one's verbatim off the Wikipedia article, right? But it's like I said, it's a rare condition where like the growing tip of the plant is like, it becomes elongated to the direction of the growth. So it produces like flattened, contorted tissue. And fasciation can also cause, or not always, but can sometimes cause plant parts to, you know, increase in weight or volume. And this can occur in like the stem, like we see in the photo of the dandelion, or in like the flower head or the fruit of the flower. It can happen in a couple different places. And it's caused, like the whole reason it happens, from the Wikipedia article, it says it's caused by hormonal imbalances in the meristematic cells of the plant, which is the cells that house like the growthing of the plant. But it can also be caused by like a genetic mutation or viral infection. There's a couple ways fasciation can occur, but that is what it looks like. The more I look at it here is that's fasciation. And one little anecdote I'd love to share here as well is that someone named Dustworlds had found one of these dandelions and tried to press one in a pressing book once. And they find the deformity really interesting. Usually these dandelions, and particularly fine, have stems that are around 1 to 2 centimeters thick. And after a couple of centimeters, the stems tend to break apart and die off because dandelions aren't really meant to grow that way. So I found that interesting. I don't know. Fasciation's an interesting, just like the human body has weird genetic things that can happen. Seeing it happen in the plant world is also, I think, pretty fascinating and cool.